Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everyone. Welcome back to KerbSide Collections with me, Adam Ritchie, a podcast about physical media collectors for physical media collectors. Full disclosure, I haven't recorded one of these in a while because I do bank episodes, so I'm going to be a little bit rusty. As I have, I won't say new friend. We've spoken a bit on Instagram through the page, through the channel. But I have James with me, also
Hello.
known as 1/6 Collector on Instagram. How you going? Sorry, I should
Yeah,
ask that. How you going?
good, very
Rusty.
good. No, that's all good. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for agreeing to come on. I'm glad I asked. So yeah, we could organise it sooner rather than later. So yeah, it's good to have you here. Tell our fine folk what part of the world are you coming from?
Yeah. So I'm from Southwest Sydney. I live near Camden, so a bit out towards the sort of semi-rural area. We've got live here with my two daughters and my wife and our little fluffy dog, living the Australian dream out here. And yeah, just thanks to the powers of social media, we can connect with people like yourself and talk about
Yeah,
these interests. Yeah.
yeah. It's the internet is has pros and cons. So this is definitely one of the pros.
Absolutely.
Just getting to meet new people who have the same passion as you. And obviously, if you're listening, you probably would have the same passion. Otherwise, it might be your how you fall asleep overnight. I don't know. So we'll get stuck into it. We'll try and vary up the show a little bit as we go along. It's not going to hopefully be all the same questions, but we'll see where the night takes us. So yeah, first question I ask everyone: why do you choose to collect physical media? Like, what got you into it, and what keeps you into it?
No, fantastic. I appreciate the question here because I'm very passionate about physical media, but collecting CDs, then DVDs, and then obviously into Blu-rays, and now with 4K. I've sort of, like a lot of people in this hobby, have rebought things again and again on new formats as the technology's changed, and
Mm,
I still, got so excited. I remember, I think my first DVD was The Matrix when it first came out, and
okay.
I went, yeah, so I went and bought that, and I only had a DVD player in my computer at the time, so I couldn't even watch it on a TV or anything like that. And I remember getting so excited, thinking, "Wow, like we've gone from VHS now to these discs, and here it was
Yeah,
on DVD." And I think it was just Dolby Digital back then, just standard. It wasn't any of the like any of the Atmos or
might have
anything
been
that's
just
out now.
stereo even actually.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, very basic sort of start. But yeah, look, physical media goes way back for me. And I think the biggest thing for me was when I had kids, especially, I started, seeing the rise of streaming with all these
Mm,
channels. And I started saying, okay, yeah, we got Netflix. Oh, hang on, now we got Disney, and now we got this and that and that.
mm,
And
yeah,
I thought, you know what, it's getting harder and harder to keep up with this. And what if my kids want to watch something and, we don't have that subscription? Or what if, someone decides Netflix wants to drop this show or that movie, we want to
yeah.
watch some things. And,
Hmm.
I thought, no, I'm going to
All
start a collection here. And
all
yeah,
raise their
so,
prices like mofos.
oh,
Like it's
yeah, it's
absurd.
crazy. I've
Yeah,
had, I think it's Disney and Netflix are both in the last sort of 4 to 6 weeks have put their prices up again.
yeah. They
So,
have.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's getting crazy now. And I just thought I want something to leave as a bit of a legacy to my children to have a collection of movies that, might not be around in 10 or 20 years on streaming.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I want to have that and be able to touch it, feel it. Plus, there's that nostalgia, like call me old school, but I have memories of being a kid and my parents taking me to Blockbuster on a Friday night and come on, let's get a new
Yeah.
release and two weekly highs. You get the combo deal and go and walk around and pick up the case and look at the back. Something about
Mm,
that tactile feel of picking it up and looking at it.
yeah.
It just brings back nostalgia in spades. And that's for me, yeah, I'll always have that. And that's why even, some of the artwork I buy, I look for certain releases that have the
Mm,
more traditional case. So you can look at the back, look at the front, and not just have a steel book where you've got an artistic cover. I like the more
yep.
traditional personally, but each to their own.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you? I just want to kind of expand on that. What do you mean by traditional art, like poster art? Like, is that the type of art you'd prefer to see on a cover?
Yeah, so for me personally, and this is a funny one. So I ended up buying all the Marvel movies, and I think I had a
Mm,
chat to you about this one too, getting some advice because I ended up buying like when 4K first came out, the cost was quite high, and so I
Yeah.
bought, you know, the Captain
Still is,
America
but yeah.
trilogy. Yeah, exactly. And I bought the Captain America trilogy, and then I bought the Avengers, you know, quadrilogy, and then I bought
Yeah.
this and that, and I bought them as the 3 pack and the 4 pack and the Iron Man
Yeah.
one and the Thor one because they were cheaper
Hmm.
to buy. But then I looked
Yep.
at them and I'm like, picked up the cases and I look at them and I went, well, I want the individual movies. They're all unique and they're all magical in their own way. I want to look
Oh,
at
I
the
like
poster
that.
for, yeah. And so for me,
I
like,
like that.
especially like, I'm a big fan of Captain America. So The Winter Soldier is one of the best Marvel movies, in my opinion. So I
Hmm.
wanted to pick up that cover, that iconic cover, you know, and look at that again. And when it's in the triple pack, you've got
Yeah.
a shield, Captain Shield on the cover, and that's about it, and text on the back. And to me, it's sort of, it takes away a little bit from that magic. So I actually rebought every Marvel movie again in individual releases just for that
Wow.
reason. Yeah.
Wow. And what did you do with
So
your box sets then? Did you sell them off or?
I've still got them at the moment.
Yeah,
So I
okay.
don't, and then I'm like, now, do I keep
Oh,
them as backup because the Marvels are iconic? I don't know.
I would
Yeah.
hang on to them simply for the fact that they're very fastly becoming out of print in Australia. And because I have quite a few dupes, mostly on Blu-ray of the Marvel stuff, because I've upgraded to
Yeah.
4K, but I've also upgraded to those packs. So I do have, so I might have had Iron Man, sorry, Thor 1 and 2, but I end up upgrading to the four pack, or
Yeah, I think
eleven.
it's four now. Yeah, because you got Love and Thunder was the
Yeah.
last one. So yeah, it's four of them
Yeah,
now.
and
Yeah.
I did it with Iron Man. I've got the box set. I've even got the 2 pack of Doctor Strange.
There you
And there's
go.
another
Yeah.
one. I didn't get the Avengers one. Do have the Avengers movies individually,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
I love that concept of you just appreciating the art of them.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
big
that.
like that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why I once upon a time dabbled in not streaming, but like almost like a Plex server. I don't know if you're familiar with sort of
Yeah,
having
yeah, I
ripping your
am
movies,
too.
and yeah,
Something I just couldn't be bothered ever learning about, to be
and,
honest.
and that's what it got too hard for me and too time consuming, especially with work and kids. So I gave it up.
Yeah.
But and I had a rule to myself that I wouldn't rip movies I don't own because I don't like anything illegal. If I have my movies,
Yep.
I'll rip my movies. If I don't own
Yep.
them, I won't rip friends' movies because I just didn't like that. So, but what
Hmm.
I did like was the interface on some of those things like Plex, where you still had the, you know, you'd have the thumbnails of the cover art, and then you could click on it and it brings it up as a big screen, and you could look at the front, look at the back, and it was one of them was really great. You could actually go through and people could upload variant covers. So when you brought it up on your screen, TV or projector, you could then say,
Mm.
okay, it's Captain America, and you could go through 8 or 10 different covers and choose your favorite cover
Ah,
as
yeah,
the
okay.
artwork. I did like
Yep.
that because you could just vary it, but again,
Yep.
streaming of your own servers, your own data backup, so time consuming. I
I
just
have
it's not for me.
that. I have that. I'm not sure, and forgive me, but I'm not sure if you're on Letterboxd or not, but you can do that on Letterboxd if you're a patron.
Oh,
Um,
excellent.
so you can actually change your poster. So when you log or review a movie, you can change the poster of that movie. So there's generally, well, at least 3 or 4 variants of whatever movie, but up to like 20 or 40 sometimes, depending on
Oh,
the size of the
wow.
movie. Yeah. So, you know, well, there's the thematic ones that all the Star Wars posters or covers there's ever been. That's in there. And
Yep.
same with all the Harry Potters. So you can choose whichever one's your favorite. So,
Yeah,
but I
that's
think
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a great feature for being a patron. It's kind of the reason I upgraded, so that it works for them.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Definitely makes
yeah,
it a sort of a shade of difference there that you could say, okay, yep, I want to go that, pay that extra bit. And plus, you're supporting them too because
yeah,
these sort of
definitely.
services are quite niche and
I get a lot
you
from
want them
them.
to be around. Yeah.
I get a
Well,
lot out of
it's
my
great.
membership.
Yeah, I
For
see you post
me,
all the time. Yeah, yep,
yeah.
yep. No, I see you post all the time with your reviews and the cover art and things like that. You sort of watching your movies, you
Mm,
put them up, and I think, man, I've got to jump on Letterbox. It's great. Like I love the concept of it. It's unique, and I want to get on it. I just, again, it's one of those. As soon as I get a bit more time, the girls are a little bit older, and I could do that. I will definitely go
yeah.
on and
It doesn't.
retrospectively go through. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. I don't know if you've heard me talk before, but I've certainly said it plenty of times before. But I use it as like it's diarizing for me. So because I watch enough movies that, and I have a bad enough memory that I mean, I watched Frankenstein, like the 1931 Frankenstein, tonight before we recorded because I'm recording my horror podcast tomorrow, an episode of
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Um, and because I know I was like, oh, I only watched this like, I don't know, 8, 10 months ago. And it was 2 years ago, almost to the day since I last saw it.
Oh,
And
wow.
Letterboxd lets me know that, like, it was that long ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, how? come
Yeah, it's
time.
been a while. Yeah, time
Yeah,
flies,
yeah.
and yeah,
And
that's
and
good actually.
because
And then
mm,
you don't forget what you've seen either. Sorry, I was just going to say, yeah, you don't forget what you've
yeah.
seen. Yeah,
No, definitely no. And and I always write my thoughts. I don't ever be pretentious enough to say I review films. I just write my thoughts about them in
yeah,
the moment, sometimes before the movie's even ended.
yeah. That's
There's
good.
worse if it's a movie I know well enough, I know what to say and just log it um, to get the thoughts out of my head, so I can then concentrate on the movie. But yeah, it's good for just losing my train of thought. But I yeah, highly recommend it though. You should get on it. You look when you say you wait for your daughters to grow up, it doesn't take any of your time. Like it's
Yeah,
unless you want to browse through and check out everyone else's lists. I literally use it to log my own stuff and I'd log back out and like some other people's reviews if of their movie if they've watched the same movie that
yeah,
I've just
yeah,
watched, and that's about it. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, well then, yeah, maybe I'll give it a try sooner rather than later. Then that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, not trying to sell it to you, but I mean I'm just telling you the benefits for me.
No, that's good. Look, from fellow collector to collector, like that's if it
Yeah.
works and you like it, then yeah, chances are I'm going to like it too. So that's good.
Um I guess we'll jump around a bit with the questions. So do you log your movies? You catalog them at all?
Yeah, so yeah, I keep them on. I was using there was an app I was using. It wasn't what's the main? Oh, I was using Blu-ray.com. So Blu-ray.com have got
Okay.
their own, yeah, their own one,
Yeah.
but and I liked it because you can scan the barcode and
hmm
it finds the movie, finds the exact version, things like that, which is great.
Yeah.
I import a lot as well because some titles, as you know, you can't get them here.
Yeah.
So
hmm
it's great to get the exact version you've got, director's cut or theatrical release, whatever it is. So I did like that, but I found it was very slow. And sometimes you got to scan a barcode 4 and 5 times, and it waits like 20 seconds each time it searches. And I thought, man, like I'm probably like you. I sometimes do a splurge at JB or something, and I come up with
Yeah.
10, 20 titles. And, when it takes that long, I went, oh man, I've got too many to log. So I stopped using that. And I actually I just used a Google Sheet. I started a Google,
Yeah.
spreadsheet and
Yep.
literally just started like one tab for movies, one tab for TV series, and one
Yeah.
tab for movies I want. So that way, as things are
Ah.
coming out, I'm like, okay, I want to add this to the list. And I started using the wanted, I called it wanted. So it was movies that I thought I'm going to go, you know what, that's not out on 4K yet. So I added to the list to keep an eye out for movies that are only on Blu-ray. And so when they come to 4K, I remember. And also ones that, if they're coming out soon. So when JB does a sale or they come out, I'll jump on them then.
Yeah.
So I've got my 3 tabs, and yeah, and I just track the movies through there really, and it actually works great. Like to be honest, I know it's only a spreadsheet, but I'm quite a fan, and I'll have a look now. My latest list of physical media sits at the movies 860 currently.
Okay.
Not including the current splurge I just did with the JB 20% off sale that just came in, which I think was another 20 movies. So yeah,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
yeah, it's good. It's just easy to put on there and easy to keep track. And then I've got two
Mm.
columns. So I've got the movie name, 4K, and then Blu-ray. So I just tag if I've got it on the 4K or Blu-ray format. Yeah.
Yeah. I keep a spreadsheet. I don't have a Google sheet. I just have an Excel doc because I Excel. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've spoken about it on this show a bit. I think I won't bore everyone with it, but I can show it to you later if you like, because we can screen share. So if you want, I'll show
Oh,
you what I
awesome.
do.
Yeah.
Because I've worked hard on my spreadsheet. I am a fan. And it's easy. I used to always have problems. I don't like scanning a barcode because I've forgotten to do it, and I did it. I
Yep.
started doing it on Blu-ray.com as well, and then some didn't scan, and I was just like, oh, I can't be bothered. I give up.
Yeah. And then
And
it's hard
then
because how do you log it manually? Like it's hard.
yeah, it just gets it was so time consuming and agonizing. And I look at how many I'd logged about 500 in about 2 weeks, and I'm like, I've still got like 2,000 to go. I can't do this.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, no, I just gave up. So spreadsheet wins for sure. And
Yeah,
I can just
beautiful.
email it to myself. So like if I'm out browsing at an op shop or a secondhand store, like a CEX or something, and I don't know if I've got it, I'll just open up my spreadsheet, my email, and scroll through.
Yeah, perfect. And I do the same thing. Well, I'm on the
Yeah,
fly. I'm out. I'm like, oh shit, do I have this? It's on special, and
yeah.
I got something. And you can just check it on the fly. And if you don't mind me asking you a question,
Mm.
what's your sort of go-to shops for your op shop for looking for rare and out of print Blu-rays
Mate,
and things like that?
the Gold Coast is horrible for op shopping. Like this,
Yeah,
it's so rare you find Blu-rays. Like really, really rare. Anyway, it's just DVDs. But there's a couple in Ashmore.
yeah,
It's kind of like four or five huddled together. And one of them was an RSPCA one that used to be really good. But up
Oh
the
yeah.
hill, there's a Lifeline, which is like a massive warehouse. Like it's the biggest op shop I've ever seen. It's
Wow.
huge. It's like a factory size floor. And
Wow.
they generally have DVDs. And I went in the off chance one morning, and because it's a bit of a drive from where I am to get there, I was like, oh, got to get out of the house. So I went there and I found like about a row of maybe 20 Blu-rays and so
Oh
many
wow.
rare ones like I had got Splash and Ghost Ship and like all these ones that are just massively long out of print or rare.
Yeah. Wow.
That like Splash cost $150 on eBay.
Yeah. Wow.
And it was like
It's
I
probably
got a
like
whole pile
$5 or
for
something.
yeah. It was like $9 for a pile, like like of about
Oh
12 or something.
wow.
Yeah, it was
That's
nuts.
incredible. And there's something about it. I don't know. There's a bit of a thrill that, you might look around, you might go to 10 op shops and go, oh, there's crap, there's nothing here, or there's
Yeah,
duplicates, nothing worth going. Then you hit that 11th one and you find something rare or something out of print. And to me, that's a huge thrill. Like, you sort of like it's this
yeah.
victory, it's
Oh,
that achievement. And yeah, I
mate.
don't know. For me, it's exciting.
Yeah, me too. No, that's my that's still my best find ever, like that day. And that will be a day that lives with me, to be honest, finding that stuff. Especially those
Yeah.
two titles that I know were worth a bit. Yeah. I can't remember what the other ones were, but it was a pretty epic day.
So was that
Yeah.
from the same op shop? You found those two
Yeah,
rare
it was all
ones?
from the same op
Oh,
shop.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
There was a lot of
Well,
rare Disney stuff, like old Disney Blu-rays. So that's why I was just like, this is incredible. Like you just can't buy them anymore. Yeah.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like down here, we've got Vinnie's, Lifeline, things like that,
Hmm.
Salvos. There's a few different
Yeah.
shops there, but they're not very big out near Camden because Camden's still fairly small, so it's not like the city or anything like that. But
Hmm.
and their turnover's not massive, but there is I think it's I don't know if it's the Salvos at Norellan. There's a which is another big sort of suburb near here. And I went in there and I sort of said, "Oh, you don't really have that many movies, a lot of DVDs. Do you have any Blu-rays?" And the fella there said, mate, he goes, we've got that many Blu-rays out the back. We don't know where to start. He
You're
goes, to be
kidding,
honest, we just keep putting it off because it's too big a task to start. And he goes,
mate.
now it's become bigger than Ben-Hur. He goes, it's floor to ceiling, a whole wall out the back of just Blu-rays. And I felt like saying to him, mate, can I like come and volunteer on a weekend? I'll give you a
Yeah.
hand, get those out. Like it just, as soon as
Yeah.
he said that, I just got the sweats. I'm like, oh, I wonder what's in there, when
I,
there's that many titles. Wow. Like,
I would have
yeah,
said,
who
take me
knows?
out there, man. I'm prepared to spend. Like,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
exactly. Well, I've gone there and I've bought a few things over the time. So, and I keep seeing the same fella that's there. He's sort of a bit of an older chap, probably volunteering, obviously. So, yeah, I think I'll go back one time and I'll just work up the courage and say, mate, look, if you let me, I'll come in the back and I'll make it worth your while. I'll buy a whole heap at a time. I'll bring a trolley worth. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but could be finding because, on that note about Blu-rays, there's, I'm a big Brendan Fraser fan. I'm a big sucker for
Yeah.
his old 90s sort of era. I
Yeah.
love
Nice.
George of the Jungle. I think we talked about
Mate,
that
yeah.
once in the DMs.
Mm,
Yeah. And I ended
probably,
up,
yeah.
I ended up getting that on DVD because I couldn't find it
Okay.
on Blu-ray. And if you can find it on Blu-ray, I think it's 150, $180 splash. It's just
Mm.
disappointing because it's like it's not worth that. But people are like, well, it's rare now, so you want it, you're going to pay for it. So, like anything, supply and demand. But same thing with Bedazzled. That's another movie that I've watched
Yes,
to death.
bedazzled.
Love
Yeah.
that. Another Brendan Fraser movie. Love that one. Liz Hurley, classic.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Liz Hurley, I don't think there's been a finer looking woman. I don't think a
Oh,
woman has ever looked finer than she does in Bedazzled.
no, that was prime Liz Hurley. So the only
Yeah.
woman better looking is probably my wife, but that's might be fine. Not yet, but she may listen to the podcast. But
Fair
like
play.
that is honestly like I've laughed so hard at that movie, and like I said, I've watched it to death. So those two movies, they're out of print. They're so hard to find. I'm convinced myself that I'm going to find them in an op shop one day. So I'll
Mm.
keep trying. I'll keep searching because I'm definitely not paying 150, 180 each. And they're
Yes, yeah.
probably not in a rush to release that on 4K. Like they're not the
Mm.
kind of titles they're probably rushing out to put out on 4K. So yeah,
I reckon they would sell like the clappers though, both of them, especially George of the Jungle. People who
yeah,
collect grew up in that era watching 80s and 90s movies. We're the collectors with that disposable income now. So I would buy the shit out of George of the Jungle because I watched that
there you
film
go.
recently, which on Letterboxd was probably 4 years ago, but it feels like recently, and I still loved
Yeah,
it. John
yeah.
Cleese's Ape the Ape. It's just I don't. There's just so much to love about that movie.
Everything about it, like it is fantastic. To me, it is fantastic. Like everyone, even the acting so over the top, the narration being, like
Yeah,
so, tongue in cheek. It's just,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just, to me, it's hilarious. I showed my kids, and my oldest 7-year-old loved it. Like she was laughing, and yeah,
yeah.
there's plenty in it for everyone. My wife even came in halfway through and started laughing and watching it. So I don't know. That was to me a happy era of movies where there's no agendas. It's just
Mm.
funny. It's just slapstick. There's not many
Yep.
movies like that anymore, I think. So
No,
yeah, good time
you're
of
right
cinema.
about agendas. Like so many movies have agendas, but well, if you look at the box office results, and you just want to know why you raised this good point with me, like just something twigged in my brain. Like movies that are making the money at the box office are the ones without agendas, like the dumb movies like The Fast and the
Correct.
Furious and the Jurassic Parks, like the most recent ones. They're such trashy movies, but they make money all the time
Yep,
because
yep, and
they don't
yeah,
have agendas necessarily. Like they're just films.
100%. And I think more than ever, with social media being so prevalent in everyone's lives, and everyone's so sick of the seriousness and what's going on around the world.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
people want to turn their brain off and just go watch something. And I think
I think
when
people want a sense of
yeah,
humor. People want to be
yeah,
able to have a sense of humor again, and they can't. That's why the world is having its fun sucked out of it by this
yeah.
self-righteousness or virtue signaling type of attitudes because people are scared to offend someone else. Like let's have a laugh. That's why the remake of The Naked Gun is breath of fresh air because it's back to old roots comedy.
Mate, I haven't seen it yet, but everyone I've talked to says it's fantastic. Like
It's
they
great,
laughed,
man.
and
It's
yeah,
so funny.
I want to watch it. I definitely, and like that's apparently kicked off a romance now between Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson.
Well,
They're apparently dating, aren't they?
yeah,
Is that right?
I read about something about that the other day, and they still don't. They don't think so. Like they were friendly, but it's not something that they're together.
Not official.
Apparently,
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
yeah. But
yeah,
that movie goes back to obviously the Leslie Nielsen era. With
yeah.
those Naked
Mm,
Gun movies, and my father, who's an old school wog father, that's very serious. Works all the time and doesn't laugh a lot and just very
hmm.
serious. He used to be in tears laughing watching those movies.
Yeah.
He loved
Well,
Leslie Nielsen, and they were just hilarious. Yeah,
the good news I found out today, we're getting. Do you know that Zaz box set? I don't know if you picked that up with
I've
the.
heard about it. Yeah.
Well, all the films are coming out individually in that. So Top Secret, Naked Gun, and Airplane.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're getting
Yeah,
those 4Ks in November. But also Naked Gun 2.5 and 33 and a third we're getting on Blu-ray as well in November. Can't get the
that's
4Ks of those.
fantastic.
Found that out today. So
Yeah.
by the
Look.
time this
Yeah.
episode's aired, they would have been and gone, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. Look, and having said that, might be digressing here, but I've started purchasing Blu-ray in bulk because I'm so happy with the quality of Blu-ray still in 2025. Blu-ray still looks amazing. Physical media with a good upscaler
Absolutely.
can look amazing, and I've
Yep.
got like I think you run a panel like a TV, is that right for your movies?
Yes, yeah,
Your
yeah. I've got a
yeah.
Sony Bravia. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So I'm running on a projector, like I've got a dedicated theater. I'm fortunate enough to have that, and I'm running
Mhm.
a 135-inch screen. So like with a JVC
Wow.
laser projector. So I'm getting that experience. And when you're stretching that big, 135 inches, and you're on a projector, like you're seeing all the detail, right? Like you're seeing goods
Yeah,
and
yeah.
bads, and I was quite shocked at how good Blu-ray can still look. In especially a vivid memory is a movie called Wind River by
Hmm.
Taylor Sheridan, but it does, yeah, correct, Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen, and
I own it. Haven't seen it. It's got the yellow sticker on it still.
oh, mate, you've got to watch it. So, yeah, that on Blu-ray looks phenomenal. My jaw was on the floor. I was
Oh,
taking
good.
photos of it because I had to show mates just how good it looked, and it's Blu-ray. And I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
with quality physical media and a good upscaler, Blu-ray is not dead. And you got to remember
Hell
that
no.
yeah, and you got to remember that DVD had CD quality audio. Then came
Yeah.
along Blu-ray that expanded that to extra channels, and then came
Hmm.
along 4K, which, if you're lucky, added Atmos, and not all 4K does. So
Mm.
the audio department didn't really take a huge step forward in 4K. It just sort of maybe added better height channels or object-based sound, which is Atmos or DTS
Hmm.
Neural X. But yeah, it didn't add a lot. So if you're just after 5.1 or 7.1 audio quality, like DVD to Blu-ray to 4K, is not much difference. So Blu-ray
No.
is
Yeah.
just amazing still.
I
To
have
me, it's
I
just
have
so
Blu-rays with
underrated.
Atmos that have Atmos soundtrack. My
Yeah,
Rocky Horror
you're right.
Picture Show
Yes.
has Atmos.
Yep.
Knives Out has Atmos on the Blu-ray. That's why I never
There
bothered
you go.
upgrading Knives Out.
Yep.
And the Blu-ray's great. The best Blu-ray that sticks in my mind now, like one that I would say is the most immaculate looking Blu-ray, is Umbrella last year released Last Stop in Yuma County. It's a
Okay. I haven't
great
seen that.
movie.
Yeah.
It's a really great movie. It'd be worth picking up in the sale. Or be worth
Yep.
picking up, full stop. But the Blu-ray is stunning. Like it's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
There you go. And you're running on a panel because I still
Mm.
think like a panel will be, better quality than a projector. Projector still, like it gives you the big picture, but it's never going to be as sharp, never
Yeah.
going to have the contrast,
Yeah.
never going to have the brightness, of a panel. So yeah, you would condensing down, like and having that on a panel would look amazing, I'm sure. Like especially with a good upscaler. Like are you
Yeah.
are you what media player are you using? Like are you using a Panasonic or a Sony or something for your
I have
discs?
the Sony X700. It's great. I
Yep.
have two of them, and I've had a few little minor issues, but
Yep.
everyone else has had minor issues with all their players as well. So honestly, with the X700, if they can pause near the end of a movie, like if it's grown a bit hot, I think, just open and shut the
Yeah.
tray and go back to it. Pisses me
Yeah.
off because it takes you out of the movie, but it's open this tray, shut the tray, and it's fixed every time. I don't even have to touch the disc. It's that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Well, I think it's the Panasonic UB820 seems to be the big
Mm.
one, and that Sony. Like they seem to
Yeah.
be the two sort of like they're the ones that people seem to jump on for media players still.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna when there's a money no object type of thing for me, I want to get the UB9000, the Panasonic, or there's
Yeah.
also a thing called a Revon that's about the same around the same price as the Penna, the 9000.
Yeah.
So I forgot what I was saying. I forgot what it was called. But the Revon, I looked it up, and I'm pretty sure it's has literally everything. Like it's completely future proofed as well. Because when I
Yeah.
look at one of
Nice.
those things, you want it to be future proof for what the coming tech might be.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing
Absolutely.
worse than like you buy VCRs didn't have HDMI cables, so then you have to buy devices that take HDMI and all that type of upgradey stuff. I mean, so
Exactly. Yeah. And
yeah,
then you sort of lose a bit of quality if you have to start using adapters and things like that. It's
yeah,
never the same.
yeah,
And it could be
mm,
handshaking issues. And yeah, like even with the UB820, like that's so just so you know, I just bought a UB820 because
yeah.
I've got an Oppo 205 as my
Oh
physical
yeah,
media player, which I was
yep,
fortunate enough to buy one secondhand right before they discontinued them. So I
mm.
think I got that for like $1,000, like which was
Oh
a
wow,
steal. Like they're now worth
yeah,
thousands. So I was very
wow,
lucky. I got it at a great price, and that was like my end game player. And it's still going years later, knock on wood. It's going great. But I thought, you know what? Things are sort of winding down. I don't know if you've been seeing this. So many companies have stopped making
mm,
players. Like there's
mm-hmm,
less and less brands making physical media players. So I thought,
mm.
you know what? I want to buy one that like as a backup player because if it
Yeah,
dies, I want a backup player. Something that's sort of there. So the
smart
UB820
idea.
went on special. Yeah. So the UB820 went on special recently at JB, and I got it for like
Mm,
560 or something. It's like
yep.
800 retail. So I got it at a good price. I'm like, yep, beautiful. But that's still a 7-year-old player. It's not new. It's like quite old. Like,
The
that and then
technology in
yeah,
it is they're still making them, but the
yeah,
technology hasn't, there's no advancement in the tech. They're just not investing in it, which is
yeah,
understandable, but it should also make it cheaper. Should make the players like that now should be $300. There's no reason for them to be
yeah,
800 as a standard price. Because the whole point of these, technology as it grows, it becomes cheaper because it becomes more scalable,
yeah,
as a, and as a manufacturer. Um, but the fact that 4K players don't, and even 4K discs don't, is I know a little bit about the 4K disc stuff, but the players, I don't know, it makes no sense. Like these, yeah,
yeah. I think they're kind
um,
of milking it at this stage. It feels like, they understand that
yeah,
there's people that are into it and they know they can charge a little bit. And you're right, because technology
yeah,
should depreciate because it's old now, 7-year-old
mm,
technology that should
mm,
be down around $300. But people are still buying, and like vinyl's having a massive resurgence in vinyl again, and then now there seems to be a bit of a resurgence again in physical media. And I think because
yeah,
prices are going
yeah,
up in streaming, so they're
yeah.
like, yeah, let's see how long we can ride this wave. And they are. But
But
there's yeah,
because prices of physical, well, streamers, or prices of everything, like a business will come in and undercut a business, and then once it gets its market share and dominates, it then just charges what the other company was doing in the first place. Happens all the time.
Yes.
Someone will come in to try and replace JB at some point. It just has to happen. They don't always. Brashes didn't last forever, so someone's going to
Yeah,
come
that's
in,
true.
right? Um,
Yeah. And Sanity used to be a big player.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, they were everywhere. I used to love browsing Sanities for Blu-rays.
yeah,
Because they always
absolutely.
always felt like they had good deals, like 4 for 50 Blu-ray, 4 for 50
Yeah.
bucks. I was like, that's great. I used to,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Um, anyway, yeah. So once people remove from streaming and come back into physical, more people buy it, prices will go up even more. So you know how it goes.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Well, on that note, there's Magnetar. Have you heard of Magnetar?
yeah,
They're a
yep,
yeah, which they're a French company, I believe, or they're from overseas. I don't
yeah.
know. They might be American or French, but they've got the UB what's it called? There's an 800 and a 900, I think, or an 8,000 and 9,000. They're in Australia. The entry level one is $2,000, and the other one I think is $3,000 or $4,000. Like I think it's
Wow.
$4,000. That's
You can
huge
buy
money.
them in Australia?
Yeah, yeah, you can buy them right now in Australia, and they've just at CEDIA. So CEDIA is the electronic exhibition or
Oh, okay.
show they do in America. That's out at
Yep.
the moment. They just announced, like literally this week, there's a version two or a Mark two of both of those players. So
Okay.
they're $2,000 and $4,000 respectively for the different players, and now they're releasing a Mark two. So they're, as far as I
Mm,
know, besides Sony released one new model this year, they're the only other brand that are still putting out new players with new technology, but man, you're paying for it. Like, wow, $2,000 or $4,000. That's
crazy,
incredible
huh?
money for a player. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's too much. Yeah,
Well, that's what the UB 9000 is. I think you can pick it up for 1,600, but I think the Reeve one's around the same as well. But up to two
yeah,
grand. It's
right.
but mm,
Well, look, like you
yeah.
said, if money's not a problem, like if money's no option, and you get a good deal on it, then
Yeah.
that's sort of right
Yeah.
up at the end game. So
Mm.
yeah, yeah,
It is a good idea to stock up on 4K players. I have done it because one of my player shat itself. I was trying to watch The Matrix, and
yeah.
I kind of went and brought a new one in a half, and then come back home and I figured out it was the HDMI cable, not wasn't the
Oh,
actual
right.
player. So I just got new HDMI cables, and so now I have two players, which is good because I got a backup. So
Perfect. Yeah,
yeah,
that's good. Well, I remember that
a
with
good idea.
yeah, no, absolutely. Like you just if they do discontinue the players, then prices are going to skyrocket for what available stock is left, and then
Yeah,
you've got this
mm.
huge collection of media, and what are you going to play it on? So it's
Yeah,
you might be stuck having to buy a PlayStation or an Xbox just to bloody play your movies,
yeah,
which I'm not in for that. Look, I understand it,
no,
and it's got its place, but for me, I'm a bit of a purist. I prefer a dedicated player, but
hmm
yeah, like
yeah,
there's yeah, so there's options out there anyway, but that's good to have that. I actually remember when Blu-ray first came out and there was HD DVD, and it was sort of a
yeah,
bit of a war of who was going to win. It was sort of they
yeah.
both came out at the same time, and it was Blu-ray and HD. And I've actually got about 10 titles still to this day
Okay,
wrapped brand new on HD
I've
DVD.
seen them in
And
cash converters every now and then, actually.
oh, do you really?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
I
they
was
had
like,
the red.
should I buy them and resell? Nah, I don't care.
They had the red covers, where or the red cases
Yeah.
where Blu-ray obviously had blue. And
Mm.
I've got a player because I obviously bought a player to go with it, which was connected to an Xbox. I think that was the only player they actually released. Oh, there might have been a Toshiba model, but the one I got was an actual external drive for the Xbox, and that would play HD DVDs. But unfortunately, that platform was short-lived. So yeah,
Mm.
got some movies that I'll never watch.
Yeah, it sucks. The same as 3D. I've seen a lot of 3D Blu-rays in op shops or at CEX sometimes. Just like, nah, they're cheap, but it's
Yeah,
like I can't play it, so
well, that's
don't worry about
exactly
it.
it. Like we had a TV that was 3D compatible, Sony TV,
Mm.
and we had the glasses, and they
Yep.
were so expensive. So I bought two, or
Mm.
came with one or two, and then as a birthday present, I got another two. So we had four, and then you have to keep them all charged, and then like these were
Yeah.
they changed them in the end. I think they went to passive glasses, so they didn't need
Yep.
charging; they were just passive. But the initial ones, you had to have them charged, and people would
Wow.
come over, and then glasses would die halfway through a movie, so half the you got four people there, and then two of the glasses die. Well, what do? You got to go back to 2D because half the people
Yeah.
can't watch it in 3D. So for
Oh,
me, it
wow.
was a bit of a gimmick for 3D, and I'm sorry I might
Mm.
offend some people because I know some people love
Nah.
3D, but
You're allowed to offend people on here. It's fine.
very good.
Yeah, you couldn't buy. I actually skipped the 3D craze, oddly enough, because I just brought I had a Panasonic plasma. and still the
Oh,
best
right.
TV I own. Panasonic still make the best TVs. It sucks that you can't buy them in Australia.
Yeah.
But by the time that died and I bought a new one, 3D had been and gone, and I just picked up like just a HD LCD, and then to what I've got now. Yeah, I was glad to skip it. I was never interested. It gives me motion sickness anyway, 3D, so I can't really handle it.
You were right, actually. That was true. That was the other problem. I forgot about that. Yeah, some people
Yeah,
would watch it and then be like watching 5 minutes, they're like, oh, I don't feel well.
yeah, yeah.
It's too late.
That's
Yeah.
why I can't play war games on TV like Call of Duty and stuff like that because I get motion sick. I can't even use the two thumbs at a time. Like I'm an
Yeah.
old school gamer, but yeah.
Have you ever tried VR at all?
Hell no. I
Yeah.
couldn't. No, I just couldn't do it. The worst thing, right? I don't know if this isn't about physical media, but you're talking about VR. I tried, and I'm a racer. I get my online handle KerbRider from racing, from Formula One and stuff. So
Oh, right.
I
Yeah.
I actually tried at Dreamworld. They used to have the V8 simulators in there, so you'd sit inside an old VL Commodore, and
Yeah.
you have the big screen, and the car would move like it was on stilts.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was nauseous for the next 12 hours. I couldn't, I slept like a
Oh,
baby, woke
God.
up, and yeah, I was munted. I just, I
Oh,
was,
no.
there was no alcohol or anything else involved. I just went there with the
Yeah.
family on holiday. This was before I lived up here, and yeah, couldn't even drive back to the hotel. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I could never try
No.
VR for that.
Yeah, no, that's well, I was going to say because there's some VR games where it's just static, you're just sort of still and you look around,
Mm,
whatever, and they're fine. But anything where you're moving in the game but you're physically not moving,
yeah.
that disconnect, I think, for your mind,
Yeah.
that messes me up. Like it takes 2, 3 minutes and I'm feeling sick. So yeah,
Yeah.
I dabbled in it for a little bit. And I was like, nah, not really for me. So
Yeah,
yeah.
those Apple glasses, whatever that's called, I could never live in that world. But
Yeah, I haven't tried any of that. It looks good. Like,
yeah,
look, I'm sure it's good,
looks
and
funky,
there'll
but
be a place for it. But yeah, not for me.
yeah, it seems still feels too early, that type of technology. I don't think the world's ready or wants that. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, speaking on that, a bit of a tangent, but back to physical media.
Yes,
I'm a
please.
big fan of. I'm a big fan of that movie Surrogates. I don't know if you've seen that Bruce Willis movie.
Now there was another one with Gerard Butler at the same time called The Gamer, wasn't it? I've seen one of them. I don't know which one of
So,
them. I don't know I've seen both though. I know the
so I
movies you're
have.
talking about. I know
Yeah, yeah.
exactly the movies, but I've only seen one of them and I don't know which one because they're the same
No, fair
movie.
enough. Yeah, so I haven't seen the gamer actually, but I've seen trailers for it, and it's on my list. So I've got a list of
Mm,
movies I have to watch. The gamer's
okay.
on that list because it does look
Yep.
good. Surrogates was great, and I keep saying to my wife, like, I want to watch that movie again because every year that goes past, I feel like we're heading more towards that as a reality. Like,
Yeah.
Surrogates essentially in a nutshell is everyone's living out of their avatars. So the
Mm,
avatars are what's walking around, but they're all stuck in their house, decaying away physically, living through their avatars in the real world. So,
yeah.
people aren't who they claim to be. They've got their real bodies and they've got their surrogate bodies. And it's great. I think it's, like I said, I think that's becoming more, not a reality, but it's a possible future reality, the way it's
Absolutely it
headed
is.
with
Yeah.
everything. So that's a fantastic movie. I'm a big Bruce Willis fan. Like, I love all his movies. I'm
Mm,
a big sucker as the 90s action hero that Bruce Willis was, Die Hard, and
yeah.
Last Action. Was he in The Last Boy Scout, and
Last Boy
all these
Scout. Yeah.
movies? Yeah, such classic. Mercury
Well,
Rising.
this
So
might
yeah.
take us on to because he's actually in my favorite movie of all time. What are your favorite movies? I'm just to changing up the show a bit.
Oh mate, that's a hard one. So
Let's do the
I
letterbox question. I don't know if you know letterbox, but I'm going to start asking people what their four favorite films are.
okay. So one of them would have to be Interstellar. I'm
Okay.
a big fan of space. I'm a nerdy like that. I love outer
You like
space.
sci-fi?
I love sci-fi. I love that sort of thing. Interstellar hit all the right notes. It hit the acting, the music. Hans Zimmer, incredible.
Mm,
The visuals, the
Telstra app.
story. Yeah, having the father daughter relationship storyline. Being a
Yeah.
father myself, like I
Mm,
love
mm.
Interstellar for so many reasons. I love Contact, which is
I
a
was going to
not a
say
very well
then,
known.
because of that relation, that father-daughter, do you love
Yes,
Contact? I don't know
I
if you've seen
love
me posting
Contact.
about Contact lately.
I did see something. Yeah, did you say it might be coming on 4K? You have a premonition or
I
maybe a
I'm gonna
contact or
I would bet my balls it's coming to 4K. Yeah,
love because I will jump on that. That'll be a day one for me because
that's my
and
it's in my all-time top 20 movies. I adore Contact. I've
Yeah,
done
Contact
other
Lens.
podcasts
Oh,
about it and stuff. Yeah.
so good because, and I don't know what it is. Like, it's a lot of people don't like it, and I don't know why.
I don't
I like
understand that.
everything about it. Yeah, it's for me. Everything about it was great. It was back then. There wasn't a lot of sort of movies about going to space and things like that. The dream sequence or whatever it is, where she sees her father on the beach and the stars above the tropical
Oh, it's
island,
not a dream sequence.
just
She travels.
yeah. So that scene that
Yeah.
I had a dream when I was young, and I
Ah,
swear to you that that scene is my dream. And that's for me. When I saw that, it was like it gave
wow.
me chills down my spine, and
Yeah.
it was like a dream I'd had as a kid, recurring dream. And
Mm.
so that really just stuck with me. And it's outer space anyway. The father daughter, I love it. It's got iconic lines. I love that. That quirky billionaire where he's like, "Why build one when you can have two for
Yeah.
twice the price?"
Yeah.
No
John Hurt's so
arrogance.
good in that film.
Which
It's
is
yeah.
great. So there's a lot of reasons to love that movie. So that would be up
Mm.
there as
Do you know
well.
that? So
Um,
they're remaking it. You knew that, right? They're doing a remake with
I did not.
Jennifer Lawrence and Andrew Garfield.
Your
Um,
kid, okay, two great actors, by the way.
yeah,
Love
that's the
both.
only reason
Yeah,
I'm in because of that. I don't want a fucking remake of one of my all-time favorite movies, but I'll watch it
yes,
because of Jennifer and Andrew. If they're gonna make me watch it, that's the perfect way
yeah.
to do it. Yeah.
Oh, she gets a lot of hate, and I just love her.
No,
Like, I just think
I love
she's
Jennifer
yeah.
Lawrence.
I think she's a good actor. Like, Hunger Games is absolutely iconic. But like,
Yeah.
she can also take the piss out of herself, which I love. Like, as an
Yeah.
Aussie, like, we love the larrikin, and I think she's a
Yes.
larrikin. Like,
Yeah,
Americans
absolutely.
take themselves so seriously, and she just
Yeah.
feels like she doesn't, and I love that. She's so against the grain, and for that reason, like,
Hmm.
have you seen? I don't know. She was in a comedy called "Is it No Hard Feelings?" I think that one is that the one where she's like babysitting that kid and
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
him to lose his virginity
Yeah.
or whatever. And that
Hmm.
is just oh, my wife and I were laughing till we were crying watching that. Like, she's such a
Yeah.
dorky, and she just feels like she's being herself in that. It was great.
I was surprised
But
how much I liked that because I wasn't expecting to like it. I thought it was going to
same.
be, yeah, I thought it was going to be a bad comedy, but it was quite good. Lots of Matthew Broderick in it as well as her dad. I can't remember who the
Yeah,
mother was, but yeah, it was good casting.
that was classic. So yeah, that she's great. That's very interesting that they're remaking Contact. I
Mm.
will fingers crossed on that one that they do it justice because
I don't
yeah,
know who's
and
directing, but don't know
yeah,
who's
that's a big
directing.
part. Another one of top four would be
Yep.
Man on Fire with Denzel Washington. Don't know if you've seen it.
I own Man on Fire, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I have seen it.
So,
I'm
it,
late to the Denzel party, I've got to say, because I've
oh,
never watched a
really?
lot of
Yeah.
his films, but I'd recently watched Highest to Lowest on Apple TV, and my goodness, I loved that movie.
I haven't seen that actually. So I will add that
It's
to the
just
list.
it's new. It's new. I don't own Man
Okay.
on Fire. No.
Yeah, no, I'll add highest to lowest. Oh, sorry, the movie's called yeah, highest to lowest. There we go. I can see it here. I will add that
Yeah.
to the list. It's got great reviews. Man on
Yeah.
Fire, please watch it. Really great. I don't want to spoil it. But Dakota Fanning,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, she's
Denzel
good. She
Washington,
was
amazing.
great.
Yeah, and it's got
Who directs Man on Fire? That's not a Spike Lee movie, is it? Man on Fire or
Tony
Ridley
Scott.
Scott?
Tony
Tony
Scott,
Scott.
actually.
Tony
Yeah,
Scott.
yeah.
That makes sense.
So
That makes
yeah,
sense.
that is stands out as a classic movie.
Hmm.
Fourth one, I might say, like, it's so hard. Obviously, just picking top four. Probably Sicario. I love
Ah,
Sicario.
now
Like,
we're getting
big
the
fan.
4K re-release in a week or two. I don't know if you own the 4K for that, but we're getting that in Australia in a couple of weeks.
Are they doing anything different, remastering it or anything like that, or?
No, no, no. It's just I don't think the first has ever been on 4K in Australia. Oh no, we've had number two,
Oh,
just not the first one.
right. I probably
Yeah,
imported it because I'm very stubborn like that. If I want
yeah.
something and it's
Oh yeah,
available,
yeah.
I'm going to get
Same.
it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
make a point of hunting it down. But Sicario for me, everything about it, that one is just, Taylor Sheridan. I'm a big fan of his directing style, very gritty, very real. He wants to tell a story. Like, that's what I feel like with Wind River. That's got an agenda, but for the right
yeah,
reasons. It's trying to get across a point. The ending of Wind River will stay with you. Um,
yeah.
and that's very rare is to have a movie that when it finishes you can't stop thinking about it. I don't have many movies
Mm.
like that I've seen. Wind River is one of those, and I think that Taylor Sheridan nails a movie that sticks with you. So Sicario, I've seen that probably 8 times, and I'd watch it tonight if you wanted
So
to watch it. Like, yeah.
Taylor only wrote Sicario. Denis Villeneuve directed it, but I'm going to give you another Taylor Sheridan one he did direct was Hell or High Water, which
Love that as well.
great,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Great movie. And again, same thing. It's that style. He's got that very gritty. It's not a happy story. Like none of his
It's
movies seem like happy
Neo
endings. They're
Western.
very,
It's great.
yeah, yeah. And great casting. Chris Pine from memory, and someone else. I can't remember
Ben
who the other
Foster,
character.
Ben Foster,
Yeah,
Jeff Bridges. Ben Foster is so good in that movie, man. God, he's a great actor.
yeah,
He's such an underrated actor, Ben Foster. More people need to know about him. He's amazing.
yeah. No, Hell or High Water. So, Ben Foster was he in? He wasn't in Punisher, was he?
I think he's in
Was
Three
that
Tinted
him?
Humor as well.
I swear to God, I think he's in Punisher. He's the nice neighbor that's like an emo guy with the punk, and he doesn't give someone up, and they rip his piercing out of his lip. I'm pretty sure that's in Punisher. But yeah, he's been in a few movies.
Maybe.
Definitely, that was a
Yeah, yeah.
very minor role for him. Lone Survivor, he played like a bigger role. I haven't seen the 310 to Yuma. I haven't seen that. I've heard good
It's
things.
great.
Haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's really, really
Yeah.
good.
So
It is
yeah,
a
I do
remake, but
agree.
it's Christian Bale and Russell Crowe, man. Like, yeah, hard to not like,
Two
especially Christian Bale.
massive powerhouses there of acting. Yeah,
Yeah,
big time.
yeah, and they show it off in that movie actually. Yeah, very, very good.
Yeah, I'm a Russell Crowe fan as well. Like not just because
Mm.
he's Aussie. I just actually genuinely like his movies. I think his movie choices are great. Um, Christian Bale, big fan.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's a bit difficult to work with. On the set of Terminator,
Uh,
was it where he was giving people a hard
yeah,
time?
I give him
Yeah,
some leeway for that. I've
yeah,
heard backstories about that, and he was within his rights apparently.
yeah.
Like
Well, look, I'm
some
sure
people
there's a
support him.
reason. Yeah, well, he takes it seriously. Like if you look at his roles, like the machinist or machinist, like he lost so
Yeah.
much weight for that
Oh,
role. He
mate.
became basically anorexic, and then
Yeah.
he'll play the next role and he put on a ton of weight. Like you have to
Mm.
give it to the man. Like he puts everything, and that's probably why he lost it. Is he's giving 150% to everything he does, and if someone's taking the
Yeah.
piss, then he's like, well, I'm taking this seriously. You're not, and don't
Well, there
blame
was
him. Yeah.
the dipshit DP just kept moving around while he was trying to act and do his job. So it's someone's at your workplace tapping you on the shoulder while you're trying to work all the time or getting, you're going to snap at some point, I suppose. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and I don't think he's a method actor, is he? But he's really into it. Like I don't know if he's fully
yeah,
method,
I
but
don't
he's
know,
like he takes
don't
it
know.
very seriously. Like yeah, very very
Who
seriously.
who, who would you say are your favorite actors and or actresses?
Oh, that's a hard one. Like I said, for like if I'm watching just iconic action, just blow him up, shoot him up, Schwarzenegger can't go past him. He just I grew up in
Okay,
that era, so watching his movies, Predator, and like just Terminator, just so many iconic roles. If you're watching, I said Russell Crowe, he's got some great roles and some great acting. Christian Bale, as we said, Matthew McConaughey, I'm a big fan.
yeah,
Female actors, I do love. Who are we watching? Sorry, we've got Jodie Foster. I think things she does, like she's not everyone's cup of tea. Jodie Foster, I know that she's got a very distinct voice, a very sort of gruff exterior, but I loved her in Silence of the Lambs, loved her in Contact. We recently watched True Detective. I don't know if you watched that TV series, True Detective.
only seen the first episode.
Okay, yep.
So
So
yeah,
season
I've,
4 has her in it. She's like, so every season is a
yes,
completely different story. She's in season 4 and loved it. She was just nailed that role. Like that was fantastic. So that was great. Yeah, I think some of those actors are right up there for me. There's so many. John Krasinski. I'm a big fan of.
oh yeah.
Started him in The Office and slapstick comedy, loving that in The Office, and then he stepped out of that role and stepped into 13 Hours. Doing that Benghazi
I've
story
never
and playing a.
seen I've never seen his movies. I've never
Oh my
seen
God,
well, I've seen A Quiet Place, I should say, sorry, but that's it of the
Yeah,
movies
well,
he's done.
Quiet Place, he was brilliant in that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like coming from just these, comedy slapstick TV series and then
Mm.
stepping into the likes of Quiet Place, even, that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And, likewise in, he's in 13 Hours. That is, I would suggest put that on your watch list. I love 13 Hours. I've seen that
Yeah.
again 8 or 10 times. Love that. He's in Jack Ryan TV series. Love him in that as well, playing that sort of role. I think he nails the mix of intelligent and tactical, playing that sort of rough exterior, but also very intelligent. He sort of blends those two things together really well.
Yeah, I've not watched Jack Ryan. Thanks for talking to my cat was just being a dick, so I had to walk away. But I could hear you.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, Jack Ryan is there's 4 series, and
mm,
JB just are doing a 2 for 40, I
Yeah.
think it was, on their TV series, and then
Yep.
20% off. So I just stacked up on the whole 4 seasons of Jack Ryan on Blu-ray. Love. I will watch them. You know, if someone said to me tomorrow, see, this is another thing. I don't like watching movies by myself. I love watching with people.
Okay.
So I will never actually watch a movie by myself, which is something
Really?
like never. No, I will watch it with anybody, like a mate, my daughter, my wife, anybody, but I won't watch a movie by myself. I don't know why. I just love the experience of watching something with someone. So
Yeah, right.
that might be weird, but that's just me. Little quirk. So yeah, that's something I do. So I would watch if someone said to me tomorrow, "You know, sit down and watch Jack Ryan again." I would watch all 4 seasons back to back. Yeah,
So
for
even
sure.
TV, you don't watch anything by yourself?
No, no, no.
Oh,
So my wife and I watch some
I hate.
TV, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I generally watch everything by myself because my kids don't really they're too grown up now to watch what I watch, so or coming out and even hang out with me, so they just do
yeah.
their own thing. So I watch, and well, I'm fine with it because I don't get interrupted. I don't have to pause and explain or talk. So I yeah, I do enough procrastinating by myself when I'm watching something on my phone all the time. So
No, look,
yeah.
that makes sense. And look, I think it's funny because if I'm home, like my wife's gone out, the kids are gone to bed, and I want to put something on, I start looking at stuff, and I'm like, oh, my wife would probably want to watch that. I'll save that. I'll save that, and then I end up struggling to find find a movie that I'll watch. But like I'm assuming one day it'll get easier to just sort of watch things on my own, and it would be a lot easier because I've got so many movies I want to watch again. I
Mm,
know I've done my top four movies, but if I had to add a
yep.
fifth one.
Yeah.
I just thought of another one, which is Children of Men. I don't know if you've
Oh
seen
yeah.
with
Yeah,
Clive
yeah. A
Owen.
couple of times. Yep.
Love that. Again, like you got this dystopian future. You got this.
Alfonso.
Yeah, I quite like that
Mm.
futuristic sort of. I don't know why. My wife always says, "Well, it's so depressing." Like I Am Legend and movies like that with this, broken future. But I'm like, I don't know. For some reason, it's kind of exhilarating knowing what could happen in a negative way.
Yeah. They're
So
cautionary
yeah,
tales too, right? They're important so we don't make
correct.
mistakes to get to those areas as a
Exactly.
society, right? So yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
What would be your top four, sorry? Like what would you say your
Um
top four would be?
yeah, I've had a clear top four for a while, but 12 Monkeys is my favorite movie ever.
Love, great choice. Great choice. Yeah.
Yeah, I adore 12 Monkeys. I do also have La La Land, or The Matrix is my second favorite because The Matrix is just, I still remember seeing the trailer for that. My mate's going blowing our hair back watching the trailer for it before we watched. I don't even know what movie it was, but it was from '99, so it would have been a good one. And then we went to the cinema a few weeks later to watch The Matrix, and yeah, that kind of changed my life, to be honest, because it's
Yeah. It,
an
it was a thing of
incredible
its
movie.
time. Yeah, it was a masterpiece because everything about it,
Yeah,
the soundtrack was just killer. Like you had all these bands that everyone knew, but just these new songs from those bands that were great.
yeah,
The special
yeah.
effects,
It
it was
recreated the genre, and it
yeah.
also changed the way films were made.
Yeah, well, it's brilliant. Like absolutely, I can't question that. And apparently, it's inspired by, or people say to be crazy if it wasn't inspired by a movie called Dark City. But I haven't seen that yet.
Mm,
I really want
yeah,
to watch that as well.
they're similar-ish.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
That sort of futuristic, sort of bit of
Dark
a
City's really
sci-fi thing.
good. And it was only the year before. It's not, there's no way in the world they're based off the same thing. But apparently the Matrix is Neo was supposed to be John Connor or John Connor's son or something.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
these go get and bury yourself into that rabbit hole. Because apparently both of those stories were stolen from a black female author.
Okay. Yep.
And apparently she's the original writer of them. That was stolen from her. But yeah, she said the Matrix is it pre Skynet or post Skynet? Like it's
Right.
after. Yeah. Anyway, um, yeah. Third. What is my third? My third is La La Land. Um,
Beautiful. Good choice, actually. And it's
yeah.
it's very different to your first two.
Yeah. It is. It really is. Being a musical rom-com, but I love old films as well, and it really is old Hollywood type of movie, and I adore it for that. And
Yeah, it
yeah,
is. It is old Hollywood. I didn't actually think of it that way until you said it. That is exactly what it is. Yeah, that's
yeah,
brilliant. Yeah.
yeah. It's just a modernized old Hollywood, and I love it. And the fact that the romance doesn't work out, but what that means to both of them, I love that. aspect. I love that they don't get together, and spoilers anyone, but
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's been out long enough. Sorry, guys. If you haven't seen
yeah.
it by now. Yeah. Yeah.
And fourth is always a coin toss between the Truman Show and Everything Everywhere All at Once. They're tied for fourth.
The Truman Show is brilliant,
Hmm.
absolutely. And Everything Everywhere All at Once, I actually haven't seen, and I even own it, and I haven't
You
seen it.
you have daughters. You have daughters. It'll mean a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Definitely keen to
And
watch it.
when you watch it again, it'll mean something different, but a lot. And again, it'll mean something different again, but a lot. That's the type of movie it is.
Wow. Okay. And
Yeah.
it won a heap of awards, so
It won
it's
all
got to
the
be
awards,
good.
won all the
Yeah.
Oscars. Yeah, yeah. Best director,
Yeah.
best picture, best screenplay, actor, actress, supporting actress. Yeah, won them all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll definitely add that to the list. I'm going to do that right now, actually, because that's another thing I forgot to mention on my Google spreadsheet. I've got my movies, TV series, my wanted, and I added recently movies to watch. So because
Yeah.
there's so many movies that people keep recommending, and I'm like, I have to add that to the
Yeah.
list. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's been hard to keep track. So I will add that right now, actually.
It gives
So
me anxiety, mate. Sometimes I'll rock up to my shelves or there's
yeah.
something that's come on streaming. I don't have time to watch this on streaming. I don't do watch. I have stressed out about it enough, and I just end up putting on an old sitcom. Is my general go-to. If I can't decide on something, I'll put on. Well, I'm watching How I Met Your Mother at the moment, so that or The Simpsons is always in rotation, and Seinfeld. But it's always
Yeah.
Simpsons and Seinfeld, and plus one other thing I'm working towards the end of. Um,
Yeah, this what do they say? Decision fatigue. You know, when you sort of too many options and you say,
yeah,
"Oh, I don't know what to watch." So
yeah,
paralysis by analysis, or whatever they call it.
I
So
like
you've
that.
got these. I
I
heard that
like
recently.
that.
I was like, "That's a brilliant one," because I'm the same. I overthink. I think I put up something the other day on my story. I'm like, if overthinking says that you're a smart person, I said I must be a genius because I overthink
Yeah, yes,
everything.
that's the conversation that led us to this moment, right? I
Oh,
think.
there you go. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's what it is because I'm the same. I
I'm
overthink everything,
Einstein.
but
I said, yeah,
yeah, but yeah, and I'm the same. So sometimes when you can't think, you're like, oh, let's just go to something I've watched 10 times because it's comfortable,
yeah,
it's easy, and
yeah,
go with that. So yeah,
yeah.
no, very good, very good.
So just moving back to physical, then, what are your favorite labels, distributors, or what do you have the most of, maybe as well, of a
Yeah,
boutique
so
label?
definitely Arrow. I'm a big fan of
Yeah.
Arrow. I think
Yep.
their quality, their care they give to their movies, their packaging especially, just you get a
Mm.
movie from Arrow, and especially if you get their limited edition run or whatever,
Yeah.
it feels special. It's thick. It's got the nice cover. You open it
Hmm.
up, it's got things that like they just care, and it feels like where you've got these big labels that just want to pump out the mainstream stuff, and then you get an Arrow release, and it's like, mate, this
Mm.
is chalk and cheese. This is bespoke and this is pumped out by the dozen. There's a huge
Yeah.
difference. So if anyone hasn't tried Arrow, I cannot recommend them enough. And often you'll find too, and this is something I only found out like in the last 6 months, is that there are
Mm.
so many multiple copies, like duplications of the same thing. So Silence of the Lambs, classic example. You've got the Kino Lorber version, and you've got
Yeah.
either an Arrow version or someone else, whoever's re-released it, and they
Yeah.
are
People
very
need to
different.
start noticing that stuff.
Oh,
Like
it's
it's
crazy. Yeah,
Arrow,
the
Arrow
difference
get
is
licensing, but they do their own color grading, and they use a lot of Kino. They use a lot of Shout Factory, and they
yep.
also use some Criterion as well. And
Okay.
then,
Yeah.
but then you'll see them swap too. You'll see them on the other hand. Criterion will get some Arrow stuff, or so will Shout or Kino will get what Arrow's done before. So they've obviously got a deal, a licensing deal going on where they just pay royalties or something. But it
Yeah,
happens.
which is crazy. Another thing that I found out, which a lot of people probably know, I only found out recently, was that the reason they're doing these limited runs now is because apparently these smaller studios are asking for the license to be able to replicate and produce these
Hmm.
4K versions.
Yeah.
And because everything costs so much at the moment to
Yeah.
fabricate, they'll just get a 3 or 6 month license, and they'll
Mm.
get the reels from the studio. So they'll go, yep, okay, give us the original film reels. We'll
Yep.
scan them, we'll color grade them, we'll restore them. They go through the whole process. They'll produce them, they'll put out the copies, but they've got to pay per week or per month or whatever it is. They've got to
Ah.
pay for these reels from the studio. So they're getting from the big studios. They're
Ah.
paying through the nose for them. So the longer they hold on to them, the more they're paying. So that's why they do. Because I was thinking, oh, why are they just trying to money grab? They're just trying to, they're limited selling, and then things are selling out, so people are buying stock and reselling, and this limited edition thing. I felt like it was kind of a money grab, but it's actually not. It's actually
Mm.
because the big studios aren't releasing everything on 4K, and these smaller companies
No.
like Arrow, like Criterion, like Umbrella,
Well,
they want to release things. So they're like, okay, well, we'll pay the money, we'll get these reels, we'll do it, but it's gonna, the
mm.
longer we have it, the more it costs. So we can only have it for a short period. Then it all made sense, and I'm like, okay, it's not a rip off. It's actually, they're getting slugged by the studio, so it made
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
And then on top of that, they have to pay royalties or an upfront for those files as well. So once there is a 4K or Blu-ray file, you'll
Mm.
see a lot of B-list Paramount or Universal titles that'll go to imprint, especially TV stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Um,
Okay.
that's imprint of doing a lot, or Viavision doing a lot of Nickelodeon cartoon series from the 90s lately.
Oh
Because
wow. Okay.
yeah, I mean, there's just deals going on everywhere for physical media. People, there's no evidence that physical media is dying. It's just not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good.
Um,
That which is relieving. That's great.
yeah. Absolutely. So have you got any? Did you order? Speaking of Arrow, I wanted to ask, did you pre-order the mask?
No, I actually haven't jumped on that, and that is absolutely iconic. So I should
Mm,
jump on that. Is it
yeah.
actually up for pre-sale at the moment, or?
Yeah. I've got mine directly from you. Next question. Do you order directly from them, or do you normally get them from secondhand or parallel importers like Outrun or
Yeah,
someone?
well, that's a good question. So yeah, Outrun has become a good one of mine. I've bought quite a few things from Outrun, which I love. I think it's just a one-man show, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
Outrun.
Rick. Yep. Good guy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's great. I've spoken to him a few times, asked him a few questions. He's really
hmm
friendly, great. Seems to have a
Yep.
passion for it. Love that. Love supporting small
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
So I buy off him a bit. I buy off, and I buy direct from Arrow. I've got things from the UK and America because I wanted to
hmm
get Desperado, and I
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
get that from the UK. So I had to do.
Ah.
I did actually at the same day, same time. I did one order for the Arrow US store and one order for the Arrow UK store. So I've
Oh,
actually got,
really?
yeah, because Desperado you cannot buy in Australia, and you cannot buy it from the UK store in 4K. You can only get it, which there's probably people like Outrun who's imported it and then reselling it. But if you want to get it direct, I could only get it from the US store. So I had to do two
Ah.
different orders, two different shipping, whatever. But I've got a few different movies to make it worth it, split the shipping and all
Yeah.
that. So
Yep.
yeah,
I've never ordered from the US store. I've only ever ordered
yeah,
from the UK store.
yeah, and they've got a loyalty system. So a few of these
Yeah.
places
Yeah.
as well, which
Yeah.
is good. So the more you buy, you start stacking up points and whatever. But yeah, I've actually pre-ordered Spawn as well. I'm a sucker for that. Yeah, I know it's a bit cringy, it's old, whatever, and I
That's the
don't
only
know
one
how
from
the
that
special.
October release I didn't buy, Spawn.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so I don't know how the special effects are going to hold up. I'm assuming they're going to
Mm.
be terrible, but the rest of the movie I think is going to be pretty good. And it's just I'm a big sucker for it. I pre-ordered End of Days as well. That was a day
Ah,
one
yeah.
order for me, so
That's
I
a
jumped on that.
Screen Factory one, is it?
I actually don't know. I don't know who released it, but of course, I've gone all this time without owning it. I bought it on Blu-ray from eBay and I paid about $30 for it. And
Yeah.
literally 2 weeks
Yeah.
later, they announced it on
Yeah.
4K. I'm like, of course they did.
Yep.
But I ended up selling it back on eBay for $20. I hadn't even opened it yet. So I only took a
Mm.
hit of $10, still got $20 back for it. I think I paid 70 to get it on 4K.
Wow.
So yeah, but
I
big
I just
sucker
sold a
for that.
thing on eBay. Like it's painful. I sold one Blu-ray, $15. By the time eBay take their cut and I pay for postage, I'm getting like $8 from it. Like
Yeah, it's a
for a
joke.
movie,
It's
I
ridiculous.
still sealed in the plastic, and I don't know. I wouldn't have paid more than $15 for it, so I don't know. Yeah, it's really frustrating when I probably paid 20 for it. But anyway, eBay is starting to bother me.
And you know what, too? I find that they tell you they say, yeah, allow $6 for postage or something. Then you go to the post office, and they're like, no, that's $9. And you're like, but hang on,
Yeah,
eBay told me six. And they're like, well, sorry, that's what it is. So
yeah,
yeah, but I also buy off Facebook Marketplace for Blu-rays as well. I bought
yeah.
a heap off Facebook Marketplace, which
I
is good.
hate dealing with Marketplace. I hate it. I'd really hate it.
Avoid it like the plague, eh?
Everyone else seems to have better luck than me. The best thing I ever got from Marketplace, and don't want to kind of take over what you were telling me, but was Everybody Wants Some, the Richard Linklater film, which is long out of print. I was like, $10. Sweet. And I'd live just around the corner. That's the best story
Yep,
I've got to
yep.
tell. Otherwise, it's just agonizing. I don't know
Yeah.
how do you cope? Tell me how you cope with it. Like, what are the good deals that you end up with?
Well, I bought so a bit embarrassing, but I have actually never seen the Reeves Superman movies.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Yep.
a bit embarrassing. Um, but I
No,
really
not
wanted to.
really.
So I bought the someone was selling, I think they call it the Krypton collection or something. It's like the first four movies, the Superman
Okay.
movies.
Yep.
And someone was selling that on Marketplace on Blu-ray for like $15. And that's seems to be a really good price. I didn't want to buy it on 4K because I haven't even seen the movies yet, but I want to watch them. I know they're iconic.
The
So
4Ks are good.
yeah, like apparently they are. Apparently the transfer is excellent. I read on that they are really good. But like I said, you're going to be paying 30 or so dollars each for four movies, which I
Mm.
can't justify because I haven't even seen them. Or I could pay, $15 or whatever it was and get all four movies on Blu-ray. And I thought, you know what? I'll get them for that because I'll probably watch them one day. They'll upscale okay. No doubt it's better on 4K, but without even knowing if they're good movies, not if they're good movies, I'm sure they're good movies. Just if I'll like them, I thought that's too good a bargain to pass up. So I have got some really good deals, especially on Blu-rays secondhand on Marketplace. Like $3, $4, $5 for movies. Picking up, but I've had to drive to pick them up. But so I won't go and pick up one movie. Obviously, it's not worth the fuel and the tolls to drive around bloody Sydney. I don't know, like Sydney driving is
Yeah.
expensive, but
Yeah.
I'll normally buy 5 or 6 or 10 at a time. I did buy on Marketplace the Friends entire series on Blu-ray. I got the Wire entire series on Blu-ray.
Oh,
I've got the Seinfeld entire series on DVD because I don't think it's come out on Blu-ray. Modern
it's coming,
Family
I
entire
think. I know the
series.
4K's hit, but yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. So I got all those, and I paid like $130, and I got a shite load of TV series on Blu-ray and DVD from one. And what's the other one? Something Orange. It's the female prison series. I haven't seen it. My wife saw it, said it was pretty good.
Oh,
But anyway,
Orange is the New Black.
yes, that's the one.
Yep.
Yeah. So got that so a whole heap of TV series and like I said, like just getting Friends and Modern Family and all these things on Blu-ray, I was
Yeah.
stoked. Like that was a deal and a half. So
On
when that thing
Blu-ray.
came,
Okay.
yeah, I think it was I bought that many in the one thing. He posted it from the Central Coast. So if you're out there, mate, and you're listening to this, thank you so much because it's gone to a true collector that's not going to resell this stuff. He's going to enjoy it. I think it was 9 kilos worth of physical media
Oh,
turned
wow.
up. Postage was $30 because it was like this huge box of physical
Did he
media.
pay the
Wait, literally,
postage?
I paid for the postage, so that was
Right.
fine. But yeah,
Okay.
like we did the deal, and he did great pricing, and he even ended up
Yep.
throwing in a few things. I was like, wow, okay, thank you. And yeah,
Hmm.
a 9 kilo box of physical media turned up. So that
Damn,
was
that's
like,
awesome.
kid in the candy store unpacking that. Yeah. So I
Uh,
don't know. I'm a big sucker for physical media, picking it up, touching it, buying it, unpacking it, looking through it. It's still great for
It's
me.
also,
Yeah,
but it's that absolutely 100% agree. But also, when you're like us, it's also the bargain, the bargain hunting and finding the bargain.
absolutely.
Because there's highs and lows to that, like gambling too. Like I know I've paid overs for shit and I regret it. But on the other
Yes,
hand, I've paid well unders for stuff probably more times than I've paid overs. So I'm like, the
absolutely.
universe
It
evens it
balances
out.
out. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
What are the best transfers you think you have? What are the best ones that you've seen? I
that's a
should
great
say.
question. I love that because I'll start off quickly by just saying I recently have started showing my 7-year-old daughter the Harry Potter series because she
Oh,
hasn't seen those
lovely.
movies.
Yeah.
And I thought she'd love them. And she watched the first 20 minutes of the first one, said, no, I hate it. I said, okay, no worries. We turned it off. A couple of days later, she's like, can we go back and watch that Harry Potter
Yeah,
movie?
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, let's go back. And then, yeah, the hook's in. So,
The
yeah,
book
that
did the
was,
same to me because I read the books
yes.
and I read it sitting at a friend's place that was on her floor and I just started reading it. I'm like, why are people into this? And then about a week later, I went and brought it and I was like, yeah, I need to read these.
I did the same. I've read them all. I've read the whole thing on book. My girlfriend at the time, back in I think uni days, she was a bit younger than me, and she was into it. And
Yep,
she kept saying, "Please watch, please read it." And I did. And then, surely enough, yeah, once you start reading, then you get
mm,
sucked into it, and it is. It gets you in, and especially the reading, the books, I think were as good as the
it's
movies in their own way. So yeah,
yeah.
but so I guess to start your question or to your answer,
Mm.
the Harry Potter movies, the first three movies, I didn't realize how terrible they looked on 4K.
Hmm.
I watched them recently, and I actually thought something was wrong with them. Like there's so much film grain present, and the color
Okay.
grading is very cool. Like it's very it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought something was. It just looked like the skin color. They look sickly. So I was a bit disappointed with those, and then now we're on the fourth movie, and
Mm.
it's picked up immensely. So I think
Okay.
it's just a product of its age, and as it goes along, it's actually noticeably better. So
It's
that's
really
good.
it's
Yeah.
a really interesting answer to me because the more I interview people and ask people about this stuff, because a lot of your experience on what is a good and what's not a good transfer really comes down to the equipment you use. Because I think all the Harry Potters look really good to great.
Oh, right.
I don't have
Okay.
an
Yep.
issue with them, and
Yep.
it's just
Yep.
interesting because I guess using a projector, I don't know the technology involved in them or behind the differences, but maybe the transfers on the first three movies weren't good for that. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a projector and well, any display at that size, you're not pixel peeping, but you're definitely seeing more of what's there. Like it's
Yeah.
just bigger. Like it's more obvious. So
Can you
if it's
reduce the
good,
size of your screen though? Could you make it 120 or 100?
I can but you've got the screen because my screen's like a static. It's like a picture frame, so you
Yep.
can shrink the picture and it will look sharper, definitely.
Yeah.
But then it'll look funny on a bigger frame. But so
Okay.
when things look good, they look really good. So transfer wise, to answer your question of the best transfers,
Mm.
I watched Maverick for the first time on my theater.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
And the sound in
Sound.
that, my
Yeah.
God. Yeah. So I see a lot of people say that's their demo in a home theater. They demo that
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I can see why. On Father's Day, I sort of said to my wife, I said, look, it's Father's Day, can I take your father and, your brothers and, can we sneak away to the movie room, just demo some movies and just, because we only get to watch movies really when the girls are asleep. So you can't really crank the
Right.
music too loud or the movie's too loud because they're asleep and, and
Yeah.
wake
Yeah.
them up. But it was the middle of the day. It's a
Yep.
Sunday. I'm like, there's no excuse. I want to really give this thing some
Absolutely.
volume. And so we did.
Blow the
And
windows out.
my
You have
wife's
Atmos,
father's,
do you have Atmos and
yeah, I got the four-inch ceiling Atmos speakers.
yes.
I'm running a 7.4.4. So I've got my three front
Okay.
channels, two
Wow.
surround, two side speakers and two rear speakers. So seven
Yeah.
channels on the out like our level field. Then I've got
Mm-hmm.
four Atmos speakers, two in front, two behind, and I've
Yep.
got four subwoofers, two in the front, two in the back.
Four.
Yeah, and
Wow.
so I've had them tuned because when I had them initially, they weren't tuned, so they were fighting each other. So getting a
Uh,
bit nerdy, but the way that sound waves work is they can sort of cancel each other. There's things called
yeah.
room nodes, and
Yep.
at certain frequencies, the front ones fire, the rear ones fire, and those low frequency waves meet in the room, and they can cancel each other out. So
Mm-hmm.
you can actually have four subs, and it can sound worse than two subs
Yeah.
because the sound waves are hitting each other and canceling each other out, and then you'll get to 30 hertz or
Like water rippling in a lake if you got them bumping
exactly.
into each other. Yeah.
Exactly, and it's canceling.
Mhm.
So you'd be listening to it, and you get to a certain thing, and you're like, "Oh, that's not that." I thought with four subs going, you're going to hear that. So
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed it, but it was a bit boomy, and I was missing some things. Anyway, I had a local home theater guy come out, and he tuned them. He put an equalizer on them, got them working in
Ah,
series, like worked it all out. This guy's a genius. Anyway, the difference now, there's no like boominess, and the sound, the sub, you just feel it more than hear it,
yeah.
which is
Okay.
exactly what I wanted because to me, that's that
That's
real
amazing.
cinematic experience. You're sort of feeling the room shake, your seat shake. It's great.
Have you
Yeah.
watched June? One of the Junes through it?
Yes, but not since it's been fixed. So I really want to go
Ah,
re-movies. Yeah,
so I
because
was
they are
thinking that
great movies.
That Hans Zimmer, like that would sound amazing
Yes.
with through four subs. That would be nuts.
Yes. Yeah, so that's definitely one I'll have to put back on the rewatch cycle. But yeah,
Yeah.
transfer wise, Maverick was fantastic. Like looked
Yep.
great. Even the up close shots. You got Tom Cruise sitting in the pilot chair. You got the cockpit. You're really up close. Super sharp, super crispy. Looks
Yeah.
great. Really happy. Minimum film grain. Great. Great contrast. Everything color. Everything just looked fantastic. Tick tick tick. I would say that's a great transfer. Lucy, which I still haven't watched
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole movie, but Lucy with Scarlett Johansson, very super sharp on a big
Mm.
screen in 4K. Looks really really nice. So that is a great transfer. Really happy with that. Just trying to think some of the other ones. So there is a big difference. Like we went and watched Scarface. I've got the gold
Oh, yeah.
edition, I think it was on 4K, and my wife had never seen it. Obviously, quite an old movie, iconic. So she said, "Oh, can we watch Scarface? Never seen it." So I was like, "Yeah, let's watch it." Huge on the film grain. It's a product of its generation. I was a bit hit and miss. I sort of found the film grain a little bit distracting at times. Other times it was really
Mm.
clean. I found that weird. It sort of went from, I think maybe when it was more nighttime, because obviously the night's not so good on the cameras, the ISO settings on the cameras. So night shots were very noisy. Some of the wider shots are very noisy, but when you're up close, some of those shots really
Yeah.
nice and clean and sharp. So that was a
Okay.
bit hit and miss, that one. But yeah, in terms of transfers, I would definitely say that Lucy and Maverick are some of the best I've seen on that. Yeah, definitely. How about yourself? What would you sort of rank up there with
Oh,
the transfers?
well, the two best I think I've ever seen. I mean, there's plenty of amazing ones, but the two best is 2001: A Space Odyssey, which I still can't believe they've that transfer on that from a film that age, and the recent Dirty Harry that Warner put out is
Oh,
insane.
really? Dirty Harry?
It is insane.
Wow.
The rumor is that those three movies with they did Pale Rider and Outlaw Josie Wales, they were actually upscaled into 8K in preparation for streaming 8K and whatnot, because 8K streaming will
Oh,
come rather than a disc, pretty much.
yes.
But it may come, but it's pretty unlikely. But they upscale them and then they have to descale them to get onto 4K. But that's why they look sharper because of the extra detail in it still.
Yeah, yeah.
That's, I
Well,
don't,
that, yeah.
again, I don't understand all the details, but that's what I had heard somewhere.
Yeah,
But
right.
either way, an incredible looking disc. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't seen Dirty Harry since I was a kid. Like I haven't seen like a teenager. I haven't seen that for years. So I'd be very interested to see that again. And what was the first one? Sorry, you said was rated 4K?
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Space Odyssey. So Space Odyssey, the only time I ever saw it was on a Qantas flight on the
Oh,
little screen on the
oh,
back of someone's thing,
just as
and it was
Stanley Kubrick
horrible.
intended.
I know, like a classic, cinematic masterpiece, and I'm watching it on this crappy little 6-inch screen that you couldn't see properly, and you're
About the
listening to
size
those
of hands.
tones. Yeah, but ironically, I did read it got a 10 out of 10 on Blu-ray or
Oh,
5 out of 5, whichever way they rate it
yeah,
for its
yeah,
video.
yeah.
They said, yeah, the transfer was flawless,
It's
and
insane.
apparently, like even the special effects still hold up,
Yeah. Oh,
all these years
that's
later. So
yeah, that's what
yeah,
makes it great. Like Kubrick was just on another level making that film. Like that
yeah,
film is just so good. Like if people love
and
David Lynch and don't like that film,
yeah.
I think you're hypocrites
Yeah,
from
well, that was fantastic. That was really really good. And then what was the computer HAL or something? The computer
yeah,
that was the
yeah,
evil computer. And again, spoilers, but bad luck if you
yes.
haven't seen that bother
I
now.
can't do that, David. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was to me like that is that
It's
not one of the
creepy.
first cold evil computer sort of enemies that we've
Yeah,
seen in a movie?
definitely.
Like
Yeah.
could be
Yeah,
the start of it
it
before
would have been.
Terminator, before all of that. Yeah.
Definitely.
So
It probably
that was
started all that off, to be honest. Like that
yeah. Well,
the ideas in writers' heads that, oh, maybe something can become sentient.
yes,
Um,
something nefarious about computers and technology, because that's a
mm,
60s movie. That's incredible to think that in
it's
the 60s
yeah,
he had these ideas and
yeah.
like the ideas, the special effects, like thinking
The
about what things
technical
would look
ability. Yeah.
like. Oh, just incredible. Yeah, incredible.
Some of the
So good.
best transfers do come from older films, though, especially some black and white ones. They're incredible. Yeah,
Yeah, which
they
is
just
funny,
come out
isn't it?
so well.
Because someone told me, and like, correct me if I'm wrong, I was told that 35 millimeter film is
Mm.
equivalent to about 5K resolution.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So yeah,
Yep.
so that's why that we can up. So with a proper, if someone takes care and like Arrow and gives it justice and doesn't just mass produce something and smash it out, if someone
Yeah.
takes the time and the care to restore something properly, scans it, color grades it, does everything properly, a 35 mil film should look amazing on 4K compared to, unfortunately, when things went sort of backwards in the 2000s, we started using
Mm.
digital and things with
Digital
2K.
2K. Yeah.
Yeah, which everyone's like, oh, 1080p, this is 2K, so it's even better.
Mm.
But now we're up to 4K, and everyone's like, oh, sorry, that's actually worse than
Well, they
a
film.
1970s movie. Yeah,
Heard Kevin Smith once say that pretty much most films are actually filmed in even 8 or 12K.
is
But
that right?
yeah,
Wow.
most now. Yeah, they were 2K. Um, so it's getting. So I've just lost you there.
Oh, sorry. Yep, one of my little reminders, one of my million reminders came up, so I'm just popping you back on there.
Oh, and it
Sorry for
cuts your camera off. Right,
that.
gotcha.
Every time a reminder or an alarm comes on, it just sort of
Yeah.
cuts out the video. Sorry about that.
Sorry, because it went silent too. I thought I'd lost you. Just looking at some of my other questions. Do you have anything that you, or actually, this is the main question. This is why I have people on the show. How do you organize your collection?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I probably am boring and I just go alphabetical. So I do sort alphabetical with my collection. I know that people go by
Yeah.
genre, people go by
Yep.
director.
Mm.
Um,
Do
I've
you
got
go
a
by
4K.
format? Or
Yes, so I've got, yes, correct. Yes, so I've got a 4K section in my
yeah, yeah,
media
yeah.
room,
Yeah.
and I've got a Blu-ray. My
Yep.
4K is smaller than my Blu-ray, but yes, so my 4K is up top, and it goes alphabetical, and then I start
Yep.
again with my Blu-ray, and that goes alphabetical, and then TV series separate and concerts are
Yes.
separate, and I've got quite a few concert DVDs and Blu-rays as well. Yeah.
It's pretty similar to how I do mine. My offshoot from that exact format is that I'll have my superhero movies together and my Disney Pixar are together and my boutique labels are together. But other than that, yeah, same. Oh, I have Asian
Okay.
cinema. I have an Asian cinema, couple of shelves of that as well.
Yeah,
So,
excellent, excellent.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got a big Asian cinema collection. Are you talking sort of things like
Uh,
what sort of
it's
movies like all
pretty
sorts of
varies pretty widely. Like a lot of Park Chan-wook, Bong Joon-ho, a couple of box sets of directors I've never heard of, but I haven't watched. I've got a Kurosawa box set. I've got a Lee Chang-dong box set, a Wong Kar-wai, and I've got
wow,
the
okay.
Arrow. I've got the Arrow Ju-ons and Ju-on and the Grudge. Ju-on is the Grudge and the Ring. Sorry, Ju-on and the Ring
Oh,
box
okay.
sets, things like that. All those Bruce Lee ones that Umbrella released, all those four, and yeah, just tons of just individual ones. I've got an anime movie section as well with all my Ghiblis and
Oh, wow.
so Miyazaki's and Makoto Shinkai films and stuff like that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I haven't seen too many animes. I've seen like the big ones like Ghost in the Shell, Akira, things like that, you know, the
Mm.
real classic ones. I haven't
Should
seen too
check out
many
some
others.
Ghibli. Ghibli, especially with your daughters. Something watch on Netflix have them. I'm assuming you have Netflix.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So just check out My Neighbor Totoro with your daughters. If you want them to love a film, and you'll love it too. It's yeah, and then you can get into other Ghibli films from there, Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle, and
I've heard Spirited Away is quite magical. Like apparently that's quite a
yeah,
good. Yeah, so I'll put that. They're
yeah.
obsessed. They're obsessed right now with K-pop Demon Hunters. Like
Oh
that
yeah,
just
yeah.
seems
Well,
to
they'll
be.
love these then because you can watch the
Yeah,
English dub as
yeah,
well. So yeah,
yeah. That K-pop Demon Hunters has no right being as addictive as it is. Those songs are just catchy as all
yeah.
hell. So you know, my 7-year-old's watching K-pop Demon Hunters, and you know, you start singing along to the songs. They're just so good.
I've
Like
not,
it's incredible. And yeah,
I've not, I've avoided it. I don't have Netflix at the moment, so I avoided it.
yeah, no, there you go. Well, that if you end up watching it, I think you'll like it. So it's quite
Everyone's loving
smartly
it, but
done.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm a 42-year-old male, you know, and I'm definitely not a big anime fan. That's probably my one of my lowest watch
Mm,
genres. Nothing against it. Like I said, I've watched some great animes back in the day and loved them, but it's just
yeah,
not my go-to. And I just found myself riveted by it. I couldn't believe it. Like it was just, it's a
yeah.
really modern take on anime, and then but they've got the over the top reactions, you know, like there's certain scenes that'll just randomly have those huge eyes and the you know action scenes and things like that that are just so over the top that you see in anime that are hilarious, and it's straight over my daughter's head because she hasn't seen any of those old school ones, but it really tries
Mm,
to blend new animation with that old school sort of over
yeah.
the top action, which I just think is funny. But yeah, and the songs are just great. So there, and apparently I heard that Sony was going to sold that to Netflix because they thought it wasn't going to do well. So Sony actually sold
Ah,
K-pop Demon Hunters because they said, no, this will
yes.
bomb, and
Yeah.
sold it to Netflix, and then it's been their highest grossing
Studios are
film.
dumb. Studios can be so dumb. But I actually had this conversation with on a podcast I recorded on the weekend with the Shift Pop Writers Room, and was talking about I don't know that because they showed it on Netflix. and then it went to the cinemas and became popular. But if Sony had released it to cinemas, it would never have become popular. But just that
Yeah,
type of
I
movie
agree.
would not have had. The reason it went to Netflix first is probably a really good business model for those films that they think should go direct to DVD type of, those type of movies. See if they
Yeah.
grab an audience, and this one did, then we go, "Oh, let's chuck it in cinemas and do something else because people will still go to the cinema and then they make some money back." Yeah, I mean, I doubt very much it would have made money if it was just released on its own.
No, I think you're right. I think it was a smart move to put it on streaming, and I
Mm,
do think, yeah, it's not the kind of movie that would have people would have watched a trailer for it and gone, oh, let's go to the cinema and go to all that trouble of paying the money, get out of, go out somewhere and make an event of it. But on streaming,
mm,
yeah, someone can sit on
yeah,
their couch, like sit in bed, and just chuck it on, and yeah, it is probably the right choice for that type of movie, and it's just exploded. So yeah,
yeah.
that's good on them. Yeah.
So I've already kind of covered what you buy. So what are your strategies when you buy? Do you generally wait for sales, or do you kind of buy on the first day, or is it just kind of a mixture? Do you
Yeah,
strategize what you get?
that's a good question, actually. So it depends what it is. If it's a limited edition, like something that's, and Arrow do, they seem to have proven now that they'll do a limited edition initially and then they'll do a standard release later. It seems to be
Hmm.
quite common. If it's a movie that's like iconic, so Arrow, released like Usual Suspects, Long Kiss Goodnight, movies like that to me are iconic. I jumped on those on the limited edition runs because I wanted those. I
Yeah,
thought they're great
yeah.
movies. So
They
I,
go
the,
quick too. They go real
yes,
quick. Yeah.
I've realised that. So sort of the cost takes second place. It's sort of like now, like
Yeah,
where I used to
yeah.
be, I used to be very stingy with it. I used to be like, no, I'm not paying $40 for 4K, and now I'm paying $70 for 4K. So it's like,
Mm,
if something's limited edition and it's iconic, I will happily pay that, and I will jump on it day one. Like I said, end of days, I think I paid $70 through Outrun, so I'm buying it off them and getting that as soon as it was available. Jumped on it, bang, I want that.
hmm.
If it's something that I'm like, yeah, it's not as iconic, whatever. I'll put it on the list and I'll wait for a JB sale. And they think like I've pumped thousands through JB on physical media.
Yeah,
You can go log on and see your history. So I do wait
yeah.
for the sales on those because they're just too good to pass up. Well, let's face it, if you really like through one of their sales before where they had, buy two, get one free, then they stacked 20% on top. Some of
Mm,
my 4Ks were coming down to $12 a movie.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
cannot beat that. Oh, with the exception of Easy DVD, I know you're a big Easy DVD fan,
Yep.
and they have had some pretty good sales lately. I have to say, like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I actually, so you know how I bought all the, I said I rebought all the Marvel movies individually. They were
Hmm.
all through Easy DVD. So I went through
Yeah,
and bought
yeah.
all of those because I think they were down to again about $12 a movie through Easy DVD.
Very
So they had
smart.
an
If you want to do the
incredible sale.
Pixar, if you want to do the
Yeah.
Pixar and Disney 4Ks, do it absolutely as soon as possible. Do it
Oh,
now while we're
is that
talking.
right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're few and far between. Like they're ultra rare. And they do
Yeah.
have 30% off Blu-rays at the moment too, as we talk. So be a lot of Disney Blu-rays in there as well.
Yeah, see, that's good to jump on those when they're at that sort of price because they're. It's sad that
Mm,
they're discontinuing some of them, but you have to jump on them because the
mm.
way it is now. Like we were talking about Harry Potter before. Harry
Yep.
Potter, you can't watch that for free on any streaming service in Australia. Harry Potter, the entire movie
Yeah, it's on
series,
HBO Max. Yeah.
but is it on
Yeah,
HBO? Is it?
because it's a Warner catalog, it's a Warner title, so they would have
See,
taken
there
it
you
back.
go. They took it off
Yeah.
someone else. It was on Netflix or someone, and
Would have been
now
on Binge because Binge did have so Binge will start. I don't know if you have Binge, but they'll start losing a lot of those Warner titles, which they mainly
yeah.
carried because they'd go to HBO Max.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see, that's the problem is like we've already got. I've got Prime because I do Amazon Prime, which is
yeah,
fine. I'm
yeah.
happy to keep
What's
that
eighty
because I buy
bucks
a
a
lot of things.
year?
Yeah,
You're silly not to do
yeah,
Prime, I
and
think.
I get that for the next day delivery, or I
Yeah,
buy a lot from Amazon anyway, so that's fine. That's no problem. But
yeah.
then we've got Disney, which is up. I don't know what that is now, $200 a year or whatever they're charging.
240, I
Netflix
think, for 4K. Yeah,
there you go. So which we have 4K because I've got the
yeah,
cinema. So
yeah,
if I have streaming, I only get the 4K version. So I'm paying through the nose.
yeah.
Netflix I think just went up to $29 a month for their 4K.
How
So there's
that's
29
absurd.
times 12. That's $350 a year now for Netflix. So Netflix and
Yep.
Disney, there's upwards of 550 a year just for two streaming
Yeah,
services.
yeah.
550 a year. That's crazy money. So
Hmm.
yeah, I've tapped out. We cancelled Stan. We had Stan. We had something
Yes.
else we cancelled. So I'm down to Netflix and Disney, and that's for $5.50 a year. I think I'm spending enough, on streaming. That's and
Yeah.
Prime, so
So
that's me done. Yeah.
my last Disney was when they were still at 180. So my next one next year will be 240. But HBO Max, when they launched, they were 180 for annual. So I just jumped on the annual because it's gone straight up to 240 was their after their introductory offer. Um,
Yeah.
and HBO Max is great. It's a really good service and it's only going to get better. Like I'm really happy. It's their UI is a lot like Disney Plus. Um,
Okay. Yep.
yeah, it's very similar. But I have Apple TV as well because I have Apple everything and I just have stuff for the family with Apple Music and that as well.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's
And
that's good. So yeah, that
and
that makes sense to go with that. Yeah.
yeah, Apple TV, I'll preach it from the hilltops that it is the best streaming service we have. Like it's 4K, standard 4K. It's $12 a month, I think, if you want to get it monthly. And they only do original content and they have some really great shit on there.
Yeah.
Really,
Fantastic.
really
What?
great stuff.
So you use an Apple TV like physical unit to stream? Is that right?
I have the Apple TV 4K, like their set-top box type of thing. So I
Yep.
don't
Yep.
I don't use because it's actually better. You get a way better quality through the Apple TV box as well, than you do just the general smart TV. Like the picture is just so much better. Um,
Yeah.
I've I've tried it, especially when you're streaming. It's through the Sony, the Google TV, whatever it's called, and then using the
Yeah.
Apple TV. No, Apple TV shits all over it. Like
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
it's
I've heard
fantastic.
that Apple TV and Nvidia, what's the Nvidia one? The Shield. Apparently, those
Yeah.
two are like top tier. Those two are like
Yep.
neck and neck. So I
Yep.
think they're both like top quality. I've got the Nvidia Shield just because I run Android in this house. So like for
Yep.
myself, everything's Android. But like they said, the Apple TV is like just as good. There's no. I
Yep.
don't think one's better than the other. I think they're both like the top tier. Just a matter of what you're running for, not infrastructure, but whatever they call it, like, environment. If you're running all Apple, then you
Yep.
go Apple TV or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, both are
The
good. Yeah.
the biosphere you're in, I suppose. What is the word? The
Yeah,
economy
I can't
that
remember
you're
what they
stuck in.
call it. Yeah, something about all that. But we've ended up with Amazon a lot of the way. So I've got, like I've
Mm.
got the Amazon Show or whatever it's called. We've got the little device in the kitchen that's got the
Oh, okay.
picture of the family and everything there, and then we've got the other little Amazon devices in all the rooms. But Google's had theirs. They had the Nest, and then now they're discontinuing that. I don't know. There's so many
Oh,
different.
okay.
Yeah.
I have an Apple HomePod. The Apple
Yep.
HomePod, like not the mini one, but the sound is incredible. It sits on my bed head. And I
Yep.
can, like, if I'm watching something in my bed, like on my iPad, if it's a movie, I'll stream the sound to it. And it's unbelievable. The bass that comes from that blows my mind. It's,
Yeah.
like I said, it plays Atmos as well. Like it's Atmos, Atmos from a speaker like that, capable, and it's incredible. Yeah.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, no, it is impressive what they can do now, like with Sonos and with Apple and
Yeah.
things like that, with these smaller devices, and the
Yeah.
quality of sound they're getting is fantastic.
It
Yeah,
really is.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What are we up to? This is something the packaging influence anything that you buy? Are you a steelbook or a slipcover person? I know you've spoken about the limited edition stuff, but is there anything else that you care about?
Yeah, so steelbooks are actually doesn't do a big thing for me. I know a lot of people are diehard steelbook fans. Like people
Yeah,
will go
yeah,
spend big money on steelbooks. I don't mind them, but to me, then I don't know. I'm just happy with a standard release. Like
yeah,
slip covers, actually, if anything, are a bit annoying, a bit frustrating for me. The slip cover, I would like. I'm happy with my number one priority is just a standard release on 4K, for example, or Blu-ray.
hmm
Then close second is the limited editions from Arrow. I love those. Well, they
yeah,
might even top it. They might even be number one. So maybe I might say my Arrow limited editions that are in those sort of, I don't know what you call them. They're sort of like a book. You open them up and they've got, sometimes they've got cards in there, art cards or
oh yeah,
little
yeah,
things from the movie. They're collectibles. So, those collectible limited edition bespoke sort of
hmm
cases from Arrow,
yeah,
probably my number one. Number two would be a standard cases, and then steelbooks would be third, and then slipcovers would be fourth. Slipcovers to me, you try and put the movie back in, they end up catching, they end up bending, creasing. That
yeah,
frustrates me. I'm a little bit OCD, so once it's got a crease in it, and
Yeah.
that's probably why I don't like the steel books, because sometimes you get a steel book delivered and it's got a dent in it or something, and that'll frustrate me.
Yeah,
So,
I've been so lucky, touch wood, with steelbook deliveries. I've never had a problem.
oh, good, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I've been so lucky. I now I put mine straight into a case, like a plastic sheath, for lack of a better word. Um,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and it just protects them from rust and whatnot. So
That's a good idea. Because
yeah,
I think you're on a few of the 4K pages I'm on as well on Facebook, like a few of the collector pages that
there's
we're
about
both on
7 million
together.
of them. I'm on like four or
Yeah.
five. Yeah,
Same. I'm only on a couple, but yeah, they're good. And so I'm on a few of the American ones as well. And like
yeah,
so many people say it is such a Russian roulette, such a gamble if you get a 4K steelbook,
yeah.
if
I
you're going to
know.
get it in good
Amazon
condition, and if it
packaging,
comes damaged. Yeah. So,
you know,
and I was worried about
blows my
that with,
mind.
have you bought from Rare Waves before?
All I brought all the time. I buy from them a lot. I've actually got orders on their way. Living Dead collection and stuff. Actually,
Okay, yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
I've bought from them a few times. Oh, sorry, I've bought once from them with a few titles from them, but they come individually. So I got one title, one time, and then it took 2 weeks later to get the next one, and so on and so forth. So they
Right.
were very scattered apart, but they just came in a very unassuming little cardboard slipcase, soft cover thing, and they all came immaculate. But I didn't order any
Yeah.
steel books, but they just
Yeah.
came immaculate. They were fine. Then all the way from the UK. They just sort of came all the way there safe in these little cardboard things that if they got a little bit of water, they'd be damaged, or bumped around, they'd
Mm.
be damaged, things like that. But yeah, they came fine. So I will happily buy from Rare Waves again, which have some good deals time to time as well. But yeah, no, they
Yeah.
seem to be quite good. But yeah, I guess it's up to depends where you buy from and what sort of case you're going for. What's your sort of preference with casing, would you say?
Oh, look, I'm happy with um just standard MRA cases. That doesn't bother me, but I do have way more steelbooks than I ever imagined I would, because I just never thought I'd bother with them. But sometimes they're worth getting, for the simple fact that, well, and up until recently, up until a change in bosses at Warner, a roadshow, there was 37 for the standard, or $40 for the steel with Warner roadshow movies. So of course, I'm going to pay $3 extra to get a steelbook. So I've
Yeah,
got
yeah,
a lot that way. And then some films will only come out on steelbook initially, and I want it, so you get it. And, um,
yeah,
and then sometimes on Amazon, there's just specifically cheap steelbooks. I picked up the Scream Factory Night of the Living Return of the Living Dead. Sorry,
yeah.
that was a steelbook that was on sale, and I've got the Fifth Element steelbook coming, which I've had my eye on for about 3 years and haven't taken the plunge. But I've gone,
Oh,
I'll get
okay.
it. It's
Yeah,
steelbook on there at the moment. The new Goonies steelbook for $44.
yeah, right. I think I actually saw the Fifth Element steelbook. That's yeah, it's like a bit of an artistic sort of cartoony sort of
Yeah,
style. Is that right? Yeah,
it's just like a comic book style cover of this Lilu in the city.
that looks quite good. I have seen that, and I don't blame you for wanting to get that. So I
Mm,
guess I did say earlier that I'm a big fan of the traditional cases because I like that nostalgia of being able to look at the front, the back,
mm,
everything like that, and then having
yeah,
the poster sort of cover, and the steelbook takes away from that. But there has been certain steelbooks that do have quite amazing artworks on them. I will admit, a lot of
mm,
them are a little bit plainer, but there are some exceptions where the steelbook just blows the standard release out of the water. So yeah, there is
yeah,
definitely quite
yeah.
a yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind
Have
of
to be
pot
honest
luck
with that.
with the artwork you get sometimes. I've pre-ordered the Weapons steelbook because I love that
Oh,
movie.
okay.
So sometimes if I watch something at the cinema as well.
Yeah,
The Sinners steelbook, jumped on that straight away. Like, walked out the
that looked
cinema.
great. That was actually one that came to mind. The Sinner steelbook looked great. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it does look great. And I was literally walking out of the cinema as I was pre-ordering it. I was like,
Oh
I'm
wow.
not missing out on this. And
Yeah.
I'd seen Weapons, and I think a few days later it was on, so I pre-ordered that as well. Um,
Fantastic.
yeah, so sometimes I'll do that. But otherwise, yeah, that doesn't bother me. Slip covers, I don't go for slip covers. I don't care if they come with them or not. But sometimes you get a movie that doesn't come with it that you're expecting, you're like, ah, bugger. But again,
Yeah.
I don't fuss over it for any more than 2 seconds. So
So
yeah,
you're a fan of the movie Weapons? You're a
yeah,
fan of
Weapons was great.
horror? Yeah.
I'm growing to be a fan of horror. Like I said, I've actually got my new podcast, the Super Fun Happy Horror Hour, that actually, yeah, me and Mike started doing. Yeah, just pretty new into it. I think our fourth episode just dropped. So yeah, I'm into horror.
Excellent.
Yeah, are you a horror fan?
So I am if it's supernatural. I'm not a horror
Ah,
fan for gore. So I don't like the
yep, yep,
Saw
fine.
series, the Final
Yep.
Destination.
Hmm.
I don't like gore necessarily. I can handle it, but I don't like a movie that's just about, let's one up the next scene and let's make it
Yeah,
bloodier and gorier. I don't
yeah.
like that. I
Terrifies
do
like
like,
that.
yeah, see that for that. Yeah, I'm not into that. I'm into the supernatural. So I was a big
Mm.
fan of, have you seen Hereditary, the movie Hereditary?
Yeah, yeah, a few times. Hereditary's
Love that.
awesome.
Love
Yeah.
that. And very, for those who haven't seen it, like, it's very, starts off very traditionally. You're sort of wondering what's going on.
That
Nothing really
opening
happens.
shot
Nothing.
is amazing in that dollhouse. Ari
Yes,
Aster
yes.
just smashed that opening shot. It's
That was
incredible.
great. Yeah.
Mm.
So that movie, and I think you'd say like nothing supernatural happens till what, the last 10, 15 minutes of the whole movie? Like
There's little
everyone
bits,
sort of
but
leading
yeah,
up to it.
nothing like, yeah, the ending is the ending. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and that ending, I was watching with a mate of mine who's a cop, and he's pretty hardcore. He's a manly
Mm.
man, and we're watching it together. And we're like, oh yeah, this is all right, good movie. We're interested, and it's good, but it's slow and it's going along. And then that last sort of 10, 15 minutes hits, and him and I just looked at each other and we're like, what the f, And it was
Yeah.
fantastic. Like we're like, holy, we got
Mm.
chills running up our arms, and it was like,
Yeah.
wow, that took a turn, and that's what I like. So I do like that. Like I said. End of Days isn't really horror, but it's got sort of those supernatural elements to it. I'm a big fan of The Descent. I know that's an older movie. It didn't really
Yep.
have great reviews, but The Descent was a great one. The girls go out for a girls' weekend. They go spelunking or cave diving, and
Okay.
discover
I've
this.
not I've not actually seen The Descent, so
Oh, okay.
I've
The
heard of
original, they
it.
made some sequels. The sequels are rubbish, as they normally. Unfortunately, horror typically the original's good and the sequels
Oh,
are normally
yeah, they
But
can be fun. Depends. But you're right. Yeah, I
depends.
think that's
Correct. Yeah.
yeah. Often
Well,
than not, yes. But they're
yeah, I
fun.
think a lot of the time they try and milk it and try and go, and it's not always done well. Sometimes definitely, but not
Yep.
always. The Descent, number one, great, brilliant. Like
Hmm.
every friend I've watched that with, we come off going, oh, that was great. Right amount of action and horror and everything else, and it was good. It wasn't a big cast. I don't think I knew any of the actors before the movie. It was great. Really liked The Descent, and that's coming in 4K. So I'm definitely going to pick that up on 4K. I've
Who's
got it on
releasing
Blu-ray.
that?
I actually don't know. Actually, I don't know who's releasing that one, but I will be jumping on it. So I've heard that that's
Okay.
coming. Sent 4K, confirmed. It says. Let's see. Is it saying release TBA? So it doesn't have a lot of information. So it's coming. Lionsgate. Is that what it is? Okay, Lionsgate
Ah,
limited
yeah, yeah, yeah.
exclusive. Yeah.
Which
So
means
that'll
if
be fun.
Lionsgate are doing it, it might come to Umbrella in Australia.
That'll be good
If
because
you're
Umbrella
noticing,
do some good
Umbrella are
releases.
starting to do a lot of because Lionsgate don't have a contract in Australia for distribution, which is why we didn't get
Oh,
the Kill
okay.
Bills and Jackie Brown.
Okay.
But that's why now Umbrella have them, and they've also got Dogma, which is also Lionsgate. So Umbrella have locked the Lionsgate key, and if yeah, Descent will come to Umbrella, I'd be pretty confident for that.
Yeah, very good. Well, I'll keep an eye out for that because Umbrella? What else did I get from them recently? Was it The Fall? Was that released
The
by
Fall, yeah,
Umbrella?
the Tarsem Singh film, yeah,
Yeah,
Fall,
that's
yeah.
cinematography. You can't beat
No,
that. Like,
I own it. I haven't seen it. Never seen it.
oh my God.
I'm keen.
So
The Cell looks really beautiful. Same director.
yeah, Cell is
That's
fantastic. That was an
yeah.
instant buy. I haven't watched it on
Yeah.
4K yet. I've watched it so many times on Blu-ray. Instant buy on 4K. Haven't watched it yet. I bought.
It's
So
really
I
good.
think
It's
was the
really,
Cell
really
who released that on.
yeah, yeah. It's outright.
So I heard there's two editions, the theatrical and the director's.
Hmm.
Apparently, there's an error with the director's edition. One of the scenes
Yes.
replays the same scene again or something.
Yeah, it's
Don't know if
hard
they
to
fixed it.
notice. I got a
Yeah,
replacement disc. They actually sent me a replacement disc of it, which was great.
right. Okay, so
Mm.
I've only ever watched the theatrical. I'm happy. I was so happy with that. I don't think I'll even watch the director's cut. I'll just happily watch the theatrical. Loved it. So
Yep.
looking forward to seeing that on 4K. The Fall has just iconic cinematography, beautiful, and apparently the director funded all that himself. did it all himself. Went to 12 countries or something to film it. Like it was phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
brilliant. And the story is good. Like I wouldn't call it great, but I think that's what made it. For me, the cinematography was just something. It was a work of art. It was
Yeah.
brilliant. So
Yeah.
got that on 4K. Again, that case from Umbrella, it's released in like an Arrow style, beautiful book. You know,
Mm.
it's a piece of art itself. You know, like that cover. So that release. So yeah, really a fan of them. Umbrella. Yeah,
You know,
don't have a lot else from them.
I compared Umbrella were I think it was on the last show with Shane I did actually. Our Umbrella are our Arrow, the
Yes.
Australian Arrow, with what they release and how they release it. I can't remember what I said imprint were. Imprint or our
Okay.
like Vinegar Syndrome, maybe. I don't know.
What?
You there?
Yep. Sorry, my headphones just died. So we've been
Oh,
talking a little while there. That's
that's all right. We're pretty close to the end anyway.
yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Well, it might be a good note because I didn't have any further questions for you. Were you in the middle of saying something? Sorry, because it did cut
No,
out.
no, that's okay. Yeah, they're just saying about the imprint, or sorry, the
Mm.
umbrella releases, which is quite good.
Mm.
Speaking of horror as well, Silent Hill. I don't know if you ever
Mm.
saw the Silent Hill movie at
Never
all.
did. No,
Yeah,
no.
that was a great one. I was a big fan of that. I don't know if Umbrella released that. I think that I had to
Oh,
import that from Germany. I think they did a German
okay.
release. That was
Yep.
good. So yeah, hoping they'll do a local release. And I think that was only on Blu-ray. I don't think that's out on 4K yet, but that is a good horror. If you're into horror and you want that sort of
Yeah.
supernatural, that's got a mix of gore in it. It definitely has some gore in that one, but I could handle it because it wasn't over the top. It wasn't like, for the sake of it, trying to just make you squirm. It was done
Yep.
well, so it's a nice mix of the supernatural with the gore, good horror, good setting, dark. There's this particular scene with some nurses. There's some like twisted nurses in a horror hospital, and I think they
Okay.
use real life contortionists. So it wasn't special effects. They actually used these actresses that could contort their body to be these like half dead nurses. You'll have to see it to understand it, but the that scene will stick with you. And apparently, that was no special effects. That was actually just done with real life acrobats and contortionists.
Right.
Yeah, really, really good. So,
Wow.
yeah, I will say too, just quickly, and I know it's not a question, but one of my favorite releases or most coveted physical media releases
Yeah.
would be actually Stranger Things, so the TV series.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Season one, they did a American Target exclusive,
Mm-hmm.
which was released as a VHS replica. So
Yeah.
the packaging looks like a VHS tape, and it even
Mm.
says VHS on it because obviously Stranger Things to me is brilliant. It's like this nostalgic series that you
Yeah.
feel like you're rewatching something from your childhood that you never
It's
watched.
80s. It's all about the 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
Mm.
this conglomerate of all these other '80s classic, cinema, and so they've released it, series one on Blu-ray, and people don't know this, but you can jump on eBay and buy it for about $8 Aussie for season one. You'll pay
Really?
about $20 or $30 for shipping because America
Yeah.
shipping, so you'll
Yep.
get it for about $38 Australian for series one.
It's pretty
But it
good.
comes in one of the most amazing packages I've ever seen for physical media, and it has become one of my most coveted pieces. I've got it at the top of my collection, on top of the cabinet as a show-off piece. It looks like
Oh.
a VHS cassette tape in one of the old slip covers,
Yep.
and you open it up, and it's actually Blu-ray inside. So it's a mock, and
Ah.
it even goes so far as you slide out the internal that looks like a VHS cassette tape, and
Yep.
that is actually just a box inside of the slipcover that you open up, and inside of it's got Friends Don't Lie, which is a poster,
Yeah.
classic from season one. It's got
Mm.
some photos, some cards. It's like collector's edition. It's got the Blu-ray discs, everything for season one. For $38 Aussie, you are mad if you're a fan of the movie of the series to not buy that on Blu-ray. The 4K version, I think, was like $150 for season one, and I'm like, it's
Really?
TV series. I don't feel like you need it. Doesn't warrant 4K, and for how cheap it is on Blu-ray, it is a crime not to own that. So I bought that, and that has become a show-off piece in my collection. Have you got a
Yeah.
particular release that's become a physical media, coveted piece for you?
Um, yeah, I keep saying, and I feel rude because I did forget to ask you that question, what you actually love in your collection. But yeah, my Alfred Hitchcock box set, The House of Hitchcock, is probably my favorite because it's the most unique box set now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's got 18 movies in it. The spines all line up, and the artwork on the spines is basically Alfred Hitchcock's face on it. When you put them all
Beautiful.
together, it came with 18 art cards, and I'm
Wow.
famous for not liking art cards, but these art cards are the posters of each of the
Yep.
films, and that's amazing for me. I love that. So it's something you can actually put on display. Yeah, it's just that would be it. I mean, I own a lot of box sets, but there's nothing as fancy as that. I do have, I'm kind of almost embarrassed to say, but probably, but I do have the imprint Halloween box, that big pumpkin. I've actually ordered that, so that will probably be the big showpiece when it arrives.
That's awesome. That's great. That's something
Yeah.
that'll stand out. That'll definitely stand out in the collection. Yeah.
Sure will. Absolutely. I don't know if I'll ever
Yeah.
unwrap it actually, because I brought it
Yeah.
mainly for the steelbooks, but they will release the steelbooks individually as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I think,
they won't
look,
be
I
cheap, but they'll do it.
yeah, I bought the who released it? The Never Ending Story, the collector's
Yeah,
edition.
yeah, that
Was
was
that
that was
imprint?
in print. Yeah,
Yeah. So
by
I bought
Vision. Yeah,
the
imprint.
big one, the big book
The big
version.
book.
And
Yep.
yeah, I was gonna leave it wrapped and I went, you know what? No. I
You,
want it on display. I want to touch it, feel it, and it's fantastic. Like it was a lot of
yeah.
money. I think I got it on J. So with JB, they had one of their big sales. I think I got it down to
Mm.
about 180, which is still a
Yep.
hell of a lot of money for a single release. But
Yeah.
it's the front and center, like top of my cabinet with all my movies, front and
Hmm.
center. It stands out. It is huge.
Yeah.
It's a big book, and it is amazing. So everyone
Mm.
who comes over goes, "Oh my god, look at that!" and they touch it, feel it, they want to see it. It's
Yeah.
worth the money because it absolutely stands. And I think they released a standard edition. I think it's still $100 for the standard edition. It's
They
still,
did, and then they've released a third version too. So there's
oh
actually,
wow,
yeah. So they released the Steelbook and now the standard. And
yeah, okay, there you go.
yeah, so I think the Steelbook was 110 and the
Yep,
standard is 80, just
okay.
for the 4K and the Blu-ray in a
Well,
rigid box.
to me, spending that 180, because I wouldn't have paid, I think it was 280 or 300 for retail. Like I wouldn't have spent that. But spending 180 or 190, whatever I spent for that big box version, it stands out. Trust me, it
Yeah.
stands out. It's huge. It's got cards in there. It's got, some of the behind the scenes scripts. It's got cards. It's got all this stuff in there, which is amazing.
Mm.
It really does stand out as a piece. And the buckle's like brass, like it's got that intertwined symbol on the cover of the book, which is from the
Yeah.
movie. And I don't know if it's a serpent or it's some sort of intertwined symbol, but that's a three-dimensional printed brass
Yeah.
symbol stuck on
Yeah.
the cover. It's quite nice, so it does stand out. So for me, that the Stranger Things VHS tape that's got the
Hmm.
Blu-rays in there, and probably the Princess Bride. I got the
I was gonna
Criterion.
I was
Yeah,
gonna talk about the Princess because when you're talking about Never Ending Story, that's right. The Princess Bride one, Criterion, is
yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
It is, and that's like a book as well. So that's like
Yeah.
a pink book. It's got that embroidered in gold on the cover. It looks
Mm.
really nice. Princess Bride. Cannot wait to show my daughters that. I think my oldest is going to love that movie. She's never seen it. My
Yeah.
wife and I both the sucker for that. Such a classic, iconic. How can you not like the Princess Bride?
I
And it's
know, right?
I
Yeah.
don't think, something like that, if it came out today, I feel would flop because I feel like
Yep.
everyone's so
It
critical
would.
today. But in
Yeah.
its day, it's a piece of its generation, piece of its time. So,
Yeah, we were
um,
lucky.
yeah, I think so. We had so many classic movies like that. So that's up there front and center as well. If I could ask quickly
Mm.
too, a question of you. 4K want list, movies that aren't announced, aren't coming yet, but you really want on 4K. Have you got any movies that sort of jump out of things that you're dying to come out on 4K that aren't, as far as you know, coming?
There's a few that would probably be streaming movies. Movies
Yep,
that are like Saltburn, I think we definitely need.
yep.
I'd love to see Ryan Johnson's Netflix film, so Glass Onion, and hopefully Dead Men. Don't what's his new one? Don't Talk Dead Men. Dead Men. What is it?
I haven't seen it actually, to be honest.
No, it's coming out. Like they're actually doing press for it at the moment. The third one in
Okay,
the Knives Out series. Wake Up Dead Man. Wake Up Dead Man.
okay.
So those films, also Tick Tick Boom would be amazing.
Yep.
One of my favorite films, like one of my favorite comfort films that no one knows about, Interstate 60. I'd love to see get a 4K or at least even a Blu-ray. Um, Not sure if you've ever heard of that, but
No,
it's
so it's not even
amazing.
out on Blu-ray.
I've never, no, I don't think it exists on Blu-ray. I have a
Wow.
DVD of it, and even because a mate sent that to me, which I thought was
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, there's lots. There's a lots I have on a list that are lined up to talk about in my show.
Yep.
So I'll talk about them I will talk about them in my show. But yeah, I mean I mean I would have a lot. I think the Tomorrow War on Amazon would be great to have on 4K too.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll probably think of a million other titles um once we finish talking.
Yeah, it's always the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
There's
I always think about from time to time, and I go, but I should write that down. And so I have to. I have notes on my phone that I just write stuff like that down on,
yeah.
because I will never remember it the second time. If I wait more than a minute, I can't remember what the hell I was thinking about.
Already on to the next thing, and yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
way,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
One for me is the Phantom of the Opera, but with Gerard Butler and Emily Rossi, or
Really?
Gerard Butler. Yeah, Phantom of the Opera. It's apparently not out on 4K. Apparently, I think Japan did a limited release of it or something like that. But as
Okay.
far as I know, that's not out on 4K and has not been announced. Which it's a movie musical, Phantom of the Opera, like
Yeah.
something that would lend itself to amazing sound. So, the fact that that's not out on 4K to me blows my mind.
Mm,
Yeah, so
yeah.
I've been trying forever to track down the Japanese limited edition 4K, but yeah, it's next to impossible to find. But I would have thought, something like that with the sound and everything like that would have been a no-brainer, but that's not out. Um, Count of Monte Cristo,
Yeah.
which has Guy Pearce and
Oh, yeah,
Henry
yeah.
Cavill plays a small role in that as well.
I think I saw
Um,
that back in the day.
yeah, yeah, it's
Hmm.
Jim Caviezel, I think, is that the Monte
Yeah.
Cristo character? Yeah, so
Yeah. That
that's
sounds about
that's
right.
a that's a classic movie, not out on 4K, not been
Mm.
announced. Dust Till Dawn was another one that
Yeah. Yeah.
Tarantino classic. How Dust Till Dawn, vampires. I don't know, just to me, I'm a
Dust Till
sucker for
Dawn's
that.
amazing. I have spoken about
Yeah,
that on the show before.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love that to come on 4K. Along Came a Spider. I'm a
Yeah.
fan of that. That's a classic one. I do like my murder mystery sort of movies like that. I've got Bone Collector on order. I don't think that's still coming. I think on 4K.
Yeah.
That's got
Yeah. That's a
Denzel as
kino, right?
well. Yeah, so I don't think it's come yet. I've ordered it, so I don't think it's come yet. But Along Came a Spider. I don't know if that's in the same series or just in the same vein. But that's another good one, like that sort of same
As
series.
Along Came a Spider is the James Patterson book.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I don't know
Yeah.
if
So
it's probably not in the
series?
same.
Sorry, what series did you say it related to?
I don't know if it's related to the Bone Collector. I always
Oh,
associate those two
no,
movies
I don't
together.
think so.
Yeah, they might have
That's
came out in cinema time or something. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
Kiss the
related to
Girls,
that. Yeah.
which I don't know if Kiss the Girls is out on 4K either, actually.
No, I don't think
So
so.
that's another one. I love
Good
those
question.
movies. Yeah, Con Air and The Rock.
Yeah,
I
of
love
course.
both those movies. Both Nick
Yeah.
Cage, classic '90s or early 2000s.
They're Fox titles. I reckon we'll get them. I actually do think we'll get those on 4K eventually.
They seem like huge releases. Like they seem like no-brainers to me. Like if you bring those out on
Yeah.
4K, visual and audio,
Hmm.
like they could even be demo worthy. Like if they do it right, master it
Yeah.
right, they're
Yeah.
amazing movies. Especially The Rock. The Rock to me, Sean Connery, like that could be huge.
Hmm.
And I think that was
Welcome to the
Michael Bay
Rock.
as well, wasn't it? He
It
was
is
in that.
Michael Bay. Yeah. Michael
Yeah,
Biehn, Ed Harris, great
yeah,
cast. David Morse. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's an epic
Fantastic.
cast.
Yeah, it explains all the big explosions. Michael Bay.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
loves
Yeah.
his big.
And the way
Yeah.
it's shot, the orange, it's all very yellow and orange, these
It
movies.
is, yes,
Mm.
very warm
Bad Boys is the
saturation.
same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now look, there's my few of 4K or my 4K want list or dream list, whatever you want to
Mm.
call it. I can't wait till those things come out. So yeah, that'll
I
be
did
good.
I did want to recommend to you when you were talking about you like Supernatural. Have you watched any of the Mike Flanagan series on Netflix? His horror
Mm,
series, Haunting of Hill
No.
House, The Fall of the House of Usher. Absolutely. If you like Supernatural, The Haunting of Hill
Yeah.
House gave me chills. There's scenes in that. Mike Flanagan is the best horror director we have living at the moment. Like, and probably might be the best horror director of all time. It's
Wow. Okay.
incredible.
What's it called? The Fall of the House of Usher? Is that the
The
one?
Fall of the House of Usher.
Yep.
And that there's a bit of gore in that, but it's based on the Edgar Allan Poe stories,
Yep.
but modernized, and The Haunting of Hill House. And he also did The Haunting of Bly Manor as well. But Hill House is better than Bly Manor.
So The Haunting of Hill House is actually on my list of what movies to watch already. So that's good that you've mentioned that. And
Yep.
wow, okay. So for horror generally, Rotten Tomatoes and horror movies don't go well together. Rotten
No,
Tomatoes tends to
no.
hate them. The Haunting of Hill House has a 93% Rotten Tomatoes score, so
Yeah.
that's impressive.
Yeah.
4.4 out of 5 on Letterboxd and 8.5 out of 10 on IMDb. That is incredible. That is some
He
huge
ha
scores there. So yeah,
he has another
I'm
series
pumped.
that's called Midnight Mass. But
Yes.
that's got a bit of gore in it, so you might not like it.
Yeah, okay. Is it still got the supernatural scene or scenes or
Ish.
yeah?
So his movies are really dramatic and a lot about character.
Yep.
Um, so that's not all flat out horror, flat out gore. Like The Haunting of Hill House is a family drama, and so is The Fall of House of Usher. They're actually family dramas
Wow.
in horror situations. Um, and
Wow.
obviously there's mystery involved as well, as you do with horror. So they're mystery thriller horrors, and he's really a subgenre skipper, Mike Flanagan.
Yep.
He did one of my favorite horror films called Hush, where it's about, I'm not sure if you've heard of Hush.
No, I haven't actually. Yep.
It's basically this little thriller where there's a deaf woman. She lives out by herself, and she's
Yep.
an author. And then she's basically, this guy's trying to home invade her effectively and taunt her from outside the house, and she can't hear what he does and whatnot. So it's that tense, tight little contained thriller. It's fantastic, fantastic.
So it seems like an actress called Kate Siegel is in
Yeah,
all.
they're married,
Right. So he cast. Yeah. Okay. Because I'm just looking. I'm looking on IMDb, and
but
they're all
he,
coming up. They're all got great scores, mind you. They're all in the 90s. They're all
yeah, yeah.
fantastic scores. But yeah, I'm just like, hang on a sec. That's the same lady
He
and
uses a lot of
same
the same
actress.
cast though.
Yeah.
He also uses Henry Thomas a lot. You know, Henry Thomas from E.T. He was the boy in E.T.
Oh wow.
He's
Okay.
in
Yeah,
all of
you've
his stuff,
gone
and
up.
he's a really, really, really good actor, Henry Thomas.
Yeah. Okay.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Okay. That's
yeah.
good. I haven't seen him since.
I love seeing him just kick ass on those screens. And yeah, there's a few. He has quite familiar faces in his stuff for sure.
Yeah. No, that's I'll be keen to watch that actually. I'm adding as you're giving me all these recommendations, I am writing these down because they are great. I'm all in. Like they got really good reviews, so that's good.
Mm,
Like it's funny because like if I find if Rotten Tomatoes gives something a high score, other places tend to give it a low score. I think Rotten Tomatoes
yeah.
can sometimes be a little bit woke, and so sometimes they'll go for things that they'll give
Yeah.
things high scores and other things give low, or vice versa. And the movies I like, they give them very low scores. But these series and movies that you're suggesting are all got high scores across the board here, so I'm very keen. That's
Yeah,
great.
man, I don't muck about. I only give the good recommendations.
Nah, love it. Very good, and I really appreciate that. So that's good, and I can see us already keeping in touch after this and throwing
Yeah.
recommendations each other's ways, which is great. So
They're going to
yeah,
be endless. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, probably should start wrapping up. We've been a long show and I'm getting sleepy. I'm an old man. Just give a shout out to your page because you do have a really good Instagram page because you collect 1/6 figurines,
Yeah,
I suppose. Yeah.
yeah, correct. So, I've got two pages actually. Like,
Oh, yeah.
my main page is Watch and See, which is
Oh,
as a hobby, I do a bit of landscape photography. So,
oh,
Watch and
okay.
See is my one for shares a mix of my collection of watches that I do, I like to do a lot of coastal photography, a lot of sunrise and sunset photos of the ocean. Very calming. I find it very peaceful, and I love taking photos of the moving ocean and the sunsets and things like that. So Watch and See was my first page, and then I sort of wanted to start off a secondary page, and I started collecting these 1/6 figures from movies. So a lot of
Yeah.
Captain America, a lot of Superman, a lot of different characters, Batman from some of my favorite movies, and I guess it sort of goes hand in hand with movie memorabilia and movie characters. So I started collecting and put my two passions together, which is photography and movies, and started taking some of these figures that are basically statues that have some articulated arms and legs,
Mate,
and posing them and taking some photos. Yeah,
I'm looking at your photos now. These are your photos?
yeah, on Watch and See. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
stunning. There's one in this waterfall. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, yeah. These are beautiful. Good
Thank you
work.
so much.
I used
That's
to be into
very.
photography. I actually studied photography at college, year
Oh yeah.
11. Yeah, and I loved the idea of being good at art, but I was just never good at art. So, I talk about it rather than do it because I'm not good at doing it. But yeah, man, these photos are stunning.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I've recently started taking a big interest in astrophotography. I've actually got one photo on there you'll
Ah,
see with a tree on there. There's a photo of an eagle, and then there's a photo of a tree with a sort of red glow from a fire, and then you can see the Milky Way in the background. Can you see that photo there?
whereabouts is that? Sorry, I'm just stunning at all of these things. I can see like the crescent moon.
Yeah. So just it's a bit before the crescent moon. You've got there a photo. I've got a astro. So I went out camping with
Oh,
a few mates, and I managed to get this photo. And honestly, I was blown away. I blew myself away. Like I wasn't expecting it to come out that good. But I've got this Milky Way photo, and it just reminded me. I guess I'm trying to get back to that movie we talked about, Contact, and having that,
yeah,
the stars and everything like that. And I just, let the camera just take this really long photo for about 30 seconds and high ISO and just captured the Milky Way, and it actually captured a galaxy as
mate.
well, and a comet. There was actually a shooting star or a comet in
Yeah,
there as well. I couldn't believe it. I didn't even see it till I got back home after a couple of days camping away. So it came out
stunning,
really
mate.
great. So yeah, just
Stunning.
I just as time allows, I'd love to get back out and take some more photos of sunrises, sunsets, oceans,
Yeah.
waterfalls, astro, things like that. Big fan. But thank you very much for letting me do a shout out for that, and
No, man, you've got a
I
great eye. A great
yeah,
eye.
no, thank you
Like,
so much. Yeah, I love doing
yeah.
that, and I find it relaxing to go out. I'll go out and take photos in pitch black of the night sky, and there's nothing like just standing out there in the quiet and just looking at the stars. And
Yeah,
especially you
yeah.
got to go away from city lights. You got to go far away and find somewhere quiet and dark to take those photos, and it's very peaceful. It's in a world where everything's technology and everything's go go go. You go out somewhere where you've got no reception and you've got dark skies and no distractions, and
Mm,
just be present in the moment. And for me, that's extreme because I'm always go 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 between work and the kids. There's just very little downtime. So for
yeah.
me, that's a big thing. And quickly too, I'd love to give a shout out to Build Montage, Tony from Build Montage. He's a local home theater expert. He's just
Oh,
starting
yeah.
up his first business, his first store. If you're out near Camden, near me, he's starting up in Smeaton Grange. He is all about your home theater needs. If you're a movie nerd like myself, you love your movies, he will help you get your projector, get your surround sound, get everything, or whether you just want just one thing or you want everything. He's helped me with my home theater. He'll help you with yours, and just take movies to a whole nother level. And it's literally like having a cinema at home. And until you experience it, you don't realize how amazing it can be. So yeah, big shout out to him who's made my little home away from home in that theater room. I can escape reality and just be off with these movies. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, all right. Good plugging. You've
Sorry,
done
went
well.
for a little while, but I'm very grateful for. Yeah.
Look, I'll wrap up. So thanks very much for being on the show, man. I do
Not a
really
problem. Thank you for
appreciate your
having me.
time. Yeah,
No,
man. It's
thank you
been,
very much for having me on. It was great. It's really a pleasure to be on this and talk with a fellow enthusiast. Really, it is. Yeah.
yeah, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I've enjoyed having you on. It's been a good chat. And yeah, so 1/6 collector and what is it? Watch and see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to type in CEA. I was different page with SEE. But yeah, you can also catch me Curbrider on Letterboxd and obviously KerbSide_collections on Instagram. The Curbside Collections podcast is a part of the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. If you are listening and want to be on the show and have hung in for this long, thank you very much. And give me a DM if you do want to be on the show, and we can hook up some time together and have a chat just like this one. Until next
Beautiful.
time, have a good day, whatever time you listen to this. Have a good one.